Honestly, after the last time you and I cast together, there was a lot of defensive pressure in a lot of the games. I think I'm going to see a little bit more of that today, especially in this matchup. Both teams, last time I had seen them, had some pretty good defensive showing. So, kind of looking forward to that on this.
Yeah, very much the in those defensive-oriented games, they become lower scoring, and it becomes less about playing good and more about not making mistakes because the tiniest thing will end up making a huge difference. One unlucky bounce or one missed rotation could have huge ripple effects throughout the entire match, and that could be just what's on the table here in our first match, which should be ready to go here pretty quickly. Um, any other thoughts? Things to look forward to. Oh, actually, never mind. We're going in right about now. Game one, match one. Pac-U Invitational starts now.
Oh, there's a scarab. You don't always see scarabs. They're a nice classic card that doesn't really get played a lot in the competitive scene on Rocket League.
Is there any reason for that?
It's just a weird car. You usually see Octanes. Very simple hitboxes, really easy to use.
Okay. Well, right now, Arizona flipping control of the offensive possession. Being stall around midfield. Stick attempts to receive, but JK driven. Setting up in the corner. Pass back to back wall. Ooh, hold on.
Ooh.
California, they could be under some pressure here. Raps almost drives in a goal there. Might get a finish here from a teammate. Hammer Time struggling to get the clear. Arizona making the Scarab work for him right now. Driven with the flip back, but here's Stick. Bounce it off the back wall. Next word, he tries to clear it out. Hammer Time jostling with Severe, can't quite find it. Raps trying to contest Driven, but Driven gets it over the top here. Stick sends it up and sent out wide. I mean, wow, that was a intense opening minute there. Oh, it's not
Oh!
Raps! Driven gets it go off the force forward in the upper right hand. Opens up the game for their squad. Sam, what was that?
I was just thinking before USC ended up scoring there that Arizona had been doing a really good job actually of pressuring on offense and making some plays, but unfortunately USC turned it on them. They had a really good breakaway and were able to just push it back towards the goal.
And they follow
Oh,
up.
there it is again!
Another one! Just throwing that glass on the ground right there. Hammer Time and the boys making it happen, as it were. Now on defense, Arizona, they've got some ground to make up. Sapir and
Oof.
big one coming out from Raps. Brings the game that little bit closer. I think we can, at this point, Sam, can completely disregard everything
I was gonna
said
say
about
it
defense
feels
play.
like they're just trying to get at me. Like they're just trying to say, "Oh no, no defense here. We're all about offense here on this pitch." It's almost mean.
A little. That's it. Here's Stick up against Driven, gets disrupted by Wordy. Raps coming in, ball stalls out. It's Sapir racing Driven. Driven gets the better direction on it.
Oh.
Demo comes out from Arizona. This should be their opportunity to flip it, but unrelenting is Wordy and Hammer Time. Really not making this easy.
Oh, a nice little dribble, a nice little 50-50. USC looking to try and make a play here.
There it is! The Trojans get up 3. This is, I mean, honestly, within just the span of like 2 minutes, this is the best Rocket League I have seen out of the University of Southern California in the last 4 years that I have cast Collegiate Rocket League. They're looking so strong right now.
It's aggression on all fronts too, Archie. They're really just constantly going for some pretty crazy shots. That last one was an absolute banger, to be honest.
Certainly fantastic. Now, Driven sends it to the back wall. Wordy wants to get up in there, but Sticks sends it to the corner, making things just that bit harder. Now, Hammer Time fighting Sticks around the goal. Flipped back, here's Driven on target. Raps just barely gets the save, but the follow-up, Wordy really put in their name on this match. Almost gets a 4th for Southern California.
Really nice defensive play by Arizona there. If they don't get that clear off the backboard, they are in some deep trouble. I will say they've collected themselves pretty well. USC, like you said, came out swinging. So Just the fact that they've been able to kind of slow it down is a good sign for the rest of the series for them.
Yeah, but they do need to find a bit more offensive success. More shots being taken would be just a huge boon for them. They've gotten some possessions going, they got some passing going, but it just hasn't resulted in many shots on frame. Big trying to fix that right now. Driven, flipping things the other way. Now kind of Wordy versus Zapier. Hammer Time gets the ball first off the corner. Hold on. Zapier might have this, but him and Raps are just kind of at awkward angles to make this play. It's going to be on stick to set things up better off the backboard. What can they do? Zapier tries to control it to the ground. Hammer Time looking for the clear. Raps denies. Arizona trying so hard to stay in control, but Southern Cal flips it.
Well, like you said, Arizona's got to get some offense going. Like, their defense has improved. They haven't allowed to score since. They are constantly attacking here, but just not able to get those shots down.
Sam, I'm starting to think that I just need to let you talk more, because the second I kind of pass the mic here, Arizona just goes for jugular. Hasn't panned out for them yet. I don't know, going on the offense every time Sleek gets quiet is not a very frequent interval to make offensive plays happen. So
that's a fact. I mean, here we've got just kind of some passes back. Nothing too scary here. This is all pretty standard, but Arizona's looking to try and make a final play if they can to boost their momentum. A nice little backboard, unable to get the two-touch. A nice shot, but unfortunately, they're not able to get any of these really in goal. How do you think they get these finishes, Archie?
I mean, a little hard to say. I felt that last play was good. I think that was a really solid offensive combo maneuver. Didn't go in. The defenders were just in the right place, right time there. And I don't think there was anything within that play that needed to be fixed. I think that was a good high percentage scoring opportunity that just didn't pan out for them. For me, the big switch has to be just more of those. I mean, we call it high percentage because it's variable results. Nothing is guaranteed.
Yeah.
That's why you gotta put the numbers on your side. Take as many of those high percentage plays as possible so that they do eventually go in. But for the time being, USC, the Trojans, in a hell of a game one, push themselves like a 3-1 scoreline. I mean, just looking so good. I am very optimistic about what this team is going to bring in game two, coming to you right now.
Well, right away, we don't have anything crazy quite yet. Just some pretty standard stuff. USC seems to be pushing the ball, trying to get something going. Arizona with a nice little counterattack right here. See if they can get something.
Gets it! Dick, just the one-man army play. I mean, we talk about percentages all you want, but if you're just sick, then you're just sick. And Stick was sticking it to him that entire play, sets his own way up, almost gets another breakaway. Oh! There it is. Zapier getting their name on that one. I mean, wow.
These are the exact plays you just mentioned, Archie. These high percentage plays where they're really working together, going hard, going strong. I really like what Arizona's doing in the beginning of this game. I think they might be able to carry some of this momentum. We'll see.
I mean, in the name of kind of like high IQ, big picture analysis.
There is! What?
Zapier, all right.
What was that about high IQ analysis?
Well, I was just going to make a very important observation that Raps has decided to give his vehicle actual wheels instead of pizzas, and I feel that is already paying dividends for Arizona.
Hey, whoever said pizza wasn't good? Come on.
Oh,
anyway.
Pizza's wonderful, just not as a tire supplement. That's not...
Anyways,
does not have that much...
With the actual tires, we've got Arizona looking for a real car soccer play right now. A nice little backboard save from USC. Going and USC looking for a little pass, unable to really get something into fruition, with Arizona kind of controlling the pace of this game, Archie.
As now Hammer Time was trying to set up a backboard pass, but gets bumped out of the way by Raps there. That's one of those dangers of going for backboard clears like that. If you get disrupted, ooh, so much pressure. But the Trojans have swung things back just a little bit. Here's Hammer Time contesting Sticks. Sticks gets him over the top. Now, things in the corner. Flip back by Driven. Demo near goal. Southern Cal is down a man. Hammer Time slows things up mid-air. This should get them that respawn in time and let them keep this offense going. Wordy gets it away from Raps off the ceiling. Zapier touches it back down. Raps is trying to finish things off here. Hammer Time and Driven both fit the defense.
Oh, Demo!
Get a critical save in time.
Ooh, but Arizona's in trouble. All right, nothing able to come here. Arizona's still in trouble. Okay, a breather for everyone would be good here. Really just crazy action all around. A bunch of crazy shots. Right now, settling down, USC looking to try and make a push towards Arizona's territory once again, with Arizona going for another little fast break. But USC has been pretty forward on these 50-50s, not really losing anything yet, with Arizona taking another good pass off the backboard with a shot into the goal. Raps!
I mean, just fantastic maneuvering as a team there. I don't know where this Arizona was game number 1, but I feel like every U of A fan wishes that this is where they were all of the time. They're flying all cylinders. That not quite on all cylinders there. X-Wordy get in some stuff in edgewise there. Narrows the gap to 3 goals, but 3 goals is still a lot, especially sticking around going for a 4th. Ooh.
Now, USC isn't technically out of the game here. It's definitely hard to come back 3 goals down with 2 minutes left. But honestly, I think it'd be good for USC just to try and not allow any more goals. But hey, you know, Arizona's playing their own game right now.
We are at a stage, Sam, where Caster's Curse doesn't require you to say the word. You thought about Arizona going for that extra goal, and they find it through and through.
Thinking is dangerous. Thinking is dangerous. Here, I'll try not to think of anything for you as Arizona able to get a nice little backboard save there. Kind of risky, but you know, really helpful for the plays. A nice bump there. Unable to really get their own ball. Nice demo, but they're in trouble.
Okay, here's Wordy trying to make something happen with Hammer Time, but Raps is there, sends it up wide. That should let the defense reset a little. Stick can't take it away from Wordy here, but Raps is able to receive. Driven, looking to be the difference maker off the wall. Wow, that's just all right.
To himself, right to himself. If you want to have a little bit of momentum ending a game, that's how you do it. You get a little bit of style, you know, try to flex on him a little bit.
And I think that just feels good for Arizona fans in the audience. When Raps is doing well is when this team is doing well. And now here he is, just going for style points in the middle of the map here. Right off the wall. Sends the ball back towards Zapier. Interesting maneuver right there. Just it was an awkward angle. These things happen. But now Hammer Time looking to flip things forward. Here's Driven, receives it off the back corner, trying to steal Raps' moves right there.
Oof.
But Sticks is able to cover that option. Wordy takes it from Raps, sent up by Sticks. Driven in the goal, trying to stop that 7th goal, is able to do so, but 7 seconds left. Arizona have taken game 2 pretty convincingly here. They're not quite done. Maybe one more does appear. Not gonna find it. Okay, the scoreboard driving up does meet its conclusion there. U of A against Southern Cal. I mean, 1-1 in the match score, but within the games themselves, it's just been strange to behold here, Sam, as we flip back and forth from stomps one way or the other.
And I really don't think you can count USC out in this series at all.
Oh, no.
At the end of the game, you saw a lot of life in them, even though they were down 5 goals. Like, it doesn't feel good, but I mean, we saw in that first game, they looked fairly strong. They had a pretty good defense against Arizona. So going into this game 3, I think it could really go either way at this point.
Just with how solidly the Trojans won game number 1, then yeah, if they can just channel that same juice, then they've They've got the winning formula here. Sticks on
Oh.
the breakaway, getting away from Driven, pulling ahead off the crossbar.
Oh.
USC just barely keeping their goal safe, but that was too close for comfort. They can't keep letting that one happen.
A lot rides on these early goals. Like you saw in the last game, I mean, early goal can put you ahead. It's harder to catch up, obviously. So I think either one of these teams that score first is in a significant advantage in this matchup specifically.
Momentum's just been such a huge part of it, as it were. Neither team would have any peace of mind giving up that first piece of it, but here's Raps off the ceiling in a different car again. Sticks almost drives it through. Zapir, can he finish? Not going to be the case. Hammer Time breaking away with Driven. What play can they make off of this diagonal wall? Just kidding, it's Zapir disrupting the whole operation. Then a little flip-floppy. Stick flips it back on to Southern Cal. Zapir maintaining possession, but not really getting a scoring opportunity off this. Wordy takes it away. That's drifting close. Sticks has to make the save. Carries the ball out of goal. Hammer Time flips it. Can he get any help here? Driven's waiting near the box. Off the backboard. Not gonna end up finding anything there. Arizona's defense holds tight.
I honestly think we're watching a really great adaptation here, Archie. Both teams have done a fairly phenomenal job of actually like reading their opponent's defense and not allowing any of these goals. Nice demo. Like I said, they're both kind of adapting on defense and really understanding their opponent as this series progresses, and we're finding these goals becoming more sparse.
Starting to be the case. 2 minutes without a goal. That might just be the longest we have gone in this match. It has been a high-scoring one. Bill? Anyone's contest. Here's Hammer Time trying to set up a play with Driven. Gonna be Zapir with the disruption. Takes control of the offense, trying to drive it in by himself. Not gonna get it done, but here's Raps. What can he do? Plays it off that back wall. Ken Sticks finishes one off. It's not on target, and that's gonna be a goal denied. 2 minutes, 25 seconds on the clock. Hammer Time denies a scoring opportunity. This is gonna be a nail biter, Sam.
Well, here's another little adaptation we're seeing. We're seeing a little more passing plays come out from Arizona right now. They're still not able to quite fool USC, but they're trying to change things up. Before, it's been mostly fast breaks for them, so I'm really interested in seeing this go. USC right now looking for a little bit of a play, unable to really steal the boost or get anything going off the backboard. Arizona going for its turn, but unfortunately blocked by USC with a nice demo. Looking for some aggression here, but unfortunately another one sapped up, Archie.
Currently becoming a bit of an odd situation. Sticks off the backboard. Zapir sends it up off the ceiling by Raps, but okay, wait, if he could get one more ally there. Just not finding it. There's been some beautiful setups here. I mean, Zapir creates a wonderful opportunity there, but his teammates weren't quite in position to follow up. I feel like just in a few cases, both these teams have been a couple quarters short of a hat in the play, but...
Yeah, I think that comes a little bit from the defensive adaptation.
Whoa, off the quarter!
With neither team really giving up any spots in their net or any holes in their offense or on their defense, would it be? Their rotations have been fairly clean, not allowing easy shots off the backboard or anything like that.
I mean, do these goals have force fields in front of them? We are over 4 minutes into this mayhem without a goal. We've seen things bounce off the inside corner of the net to go out of there, and
here it is!
That's the money. Okay, now Southern Cal is in a tight spot. That's the danger of letting things get to this position, because that first goal could just be the game-winning one. Southern Cal has 35 seconds to make anything happen, but I mean, they haven't scored in 4 minutes. Why would they score in 30 seconds?
That tension's so tough too when you have that long stalemate. And if you're not the team to break that point, it's a pretty big momentum killer, especially when you only got 19 seconds left. Arizona's looking nice here. USC's gonna have to make a play, going off the wall.
Looking Wordy gets it to the backboard, Driven with the assist, rolling in. Can they get one more touch? Sticks a critical play there. They have to keep the ball in the air to keep this play going. Driven
there it is!
It goes in! Ties things up 0-0. seconds on the clock!
It's got to break eventually. As we're seeing, these defenses couldn't hold forever. They both played maybe a little higher than we expected for a while, but yeah, it breaks down. That's the unfortunate part about that tension we were talking about.
You know, all these years, I love to mention, I always make the note that if you keep the ball in the air, the play keeps going. That is the first time that I can remember that a team actually scored on the 0-second clock by keeping the ball in the air.
Sometimes that last second is the most important one, and here you saw a clear example of it. Really happy that we got to see that. Like, it's not every day, like you mentioned. And here we've got USC on the defensive again, trying to get the ball out. Another shot towards their goal.
Here it is, Raps getting right in there. Hammer time, a critical flip back. That is just MVP play right there, denying the game-winning scoring opportunity. Hammer time has just had a fantastic series. Hang on, could Wordy get it? Just barely swooped away by Arizona. Here's Hammer time, gets it to Driven. Stick with the defense, but a clear's not quite here just yet. Oh, demo on.
Nice hit.
USC. Again, a little dicey. Teams have regrouped. Hammer time off the wall. He has Driven for support. Gonna follow up as the ball lands. Raps and Sticks getting ready to make the stop. What can he do with it? Zapier actually gets the tap on out, but Arizona can't take possession.
I will say, Archie, this is the critical point, I say, in the series. Like, you're tied 1-1. Person goes up 2, whoever wins this, that's series point. Sometimes these late overtime games can mean everything to the momentum of the series.
Whoa, hold that thought. Zapier just playing the most dangerous game on that rollback. Arizona, they've held strong for now, but they haven't been able to clear the ball out very effectively for honestly the last minute or so, which is a long time in overtime.
Oh!
But Raps, breakaway, Driven with the save. Very important there. Raps gets the demo. Slow down by Driven. Wordy gets the breakaway out. That's going to go into the corner, so Sticks has an opportunity to reset the playing field here. Raps off the wall. Hammer time is ready. He's sending it out wide. Wordy doesn't receive. It's Zapier against the offense.
Oh,
and
no.
Hammer time gets it off the ceiling. Can they finish? Wordy looking for it. Here's Driven. Zapier continues to make this defense work.
Is this a 2-for-1 special? Are we going to get 2 games for the price of 1 in this overtime? It feels like that's what's going to end up happening, Archie. Here we've got Arizona trying to get the ball out of their half, like you mentioned, but unfortunately USC is just not really allowing that.
Ooh, Stick misses the defense, and that means Hammer time weasels it on in there. The difference a single goal can make. Southern California 2-1 advantage in the match. This is getting very exciting, very fast, Sam. I mean, you love to see it. Hammer time, he's had a fantastic showing in the match so far. Most of it on defense stuff, more about like flipping possession and making saves than about scoring goals. This time, they get their name up in lights exactly as it should be. And University of Southern California, they are 1 game away from taking their first Pac-U show match victory.
What a powerful comeback there too. That's killer in a match like this. I honestly think that this will probably propel them on offense a little bit. Having your defense support you like that. Right now we see USC actually looking for an offensive play here. A nice pass. Not even a pass. Not even a pass. It was a shot. It was just a shot, Archie.
Yeah. Wordy and Hammer time get the job done. Push USC up to 1 here. And now it's a test of Arizona. That is a tough loss. They had the 1-goal advantage up all the way to the last seconds of the game where it gets tied up in overtime. And then after 3 minutes of overtime, they end up losing the game. That is the toughest hit to your mental you can take. And now down 2. What do these guys have in the 11th hour? How good is their mental elasticity? And I feel the camera is speaking for itself a little bit about this one, Sam.
It's unfortunate. I mean, this is kind of what momentum does to you, though, especially in a stalemate like that. You don't usually see, like, what is it, a total of almost 8 minutes of game time last game? That drains you, and if it's a tie pretty much the entire game, it's tense, it's stressful. Getting into this next match is not easy, and it shows. It's showing right now, unfortunately. But with how volatile the defenses have been, I don't doubt that there is a way back in this game for Arizona.
I don't either. I mean, we saw game 2. They scored 3 times in the span of a single minute. I won't put anything past this team, but something has to change here. Zephyr trying to make that change with some help from Raps. There it is! Sticks getting his team on the board. Not a moment too soon.
Beautiful attempt on that first shot. I don't even know who took it. It was off the ceiling. Very impressive, but that just shows how important rebounding is in any analog or, you know, car soccer related sport. If you chase the ball and keep it going, you will probably score.
Power of the offensive rebound, never sleep on it. Now, 3:15. Here's Zephyr, gets under the ball, serves it up towards Raps, but he was slowed up in the corner. Wordy on the juggle, gets it past 2 defenders, but not towards goal. So Zephyr able to flip it on away. Still 3 minutes left in this game. USC continues to be in control, but no one can sit pretty just yet, Sam.
Yeah, here with about 2:50 left. Fantastic save by Arizona right there, but a nice shot for USC. Unable to get anything from it, but honestly, that was a beautiful shot. Still going.
Honestly, I feel anywhere from like 7.3 times out of 10 that shot makes a goal happen.
Oh yeah, I mean a series of beautiful shots from both teams, to be honest. Here, USC looking to keep their momentum. Arizona with a nice demo, but you know they've been stuck in their half for a little bit now. You got to worry a little bit that maybe defense will start breaking down, but they got to get something going if they want to get back into this game, right?
For sure. And I'm looking a lot at stick right now. I think a lot of times when we talk about Arizona, we like to talk about Raps and the offensive plays they bring. Oh dear. JK Driven are continuing to meet the expectations of excellence and that they have kind of earned for themselves thus far. But yeah, Arizona, tight spot, 3-goal deficit to climb in 2 minutes, or this set just gets away from them. It's gonna have to be a full team effort at this. Each individual player on this team, we've seen them have complete moments of brilliance, but all those moments of brilliance need to like line up together at the same time for the next minute and 30 seconds consecutively to make this work.
I do want to say, though, I'm very impressed with USC this game. Like you had said, I want to say game 1, I believe you said that this is the most impressive. A nice shot there to try and get Arizona back into this game. Unfortunately, they're still at a 2-goal deficit. As I was saying, this is some of the best you had seen them play thus far in your casting. I do want to props their offense. They have looked fantastic. Again, another goal. Just unstoppable, honestly, in these last 2 games.
Currently the case. I mean, it just does not stop. Like, game 2, Arizona won by like 6 goals. Either they had 6 goals or they won by 6 goals. And to have this dramatic of a turnaround is honestly incredible. USC, these guys, they have kept their heads cool in a tough spot. Zephyr putting some counter heat on, keeping things competitive in this last minute. But after being in so many tight spots throughout this match that USC has been so consistently performing, JK Driven pushing the team up to 6. My word. I think it just speaks to wonderful and potential things out of this program. And I'm very excited to see just kind of where they go after this match, because it just looks like a brand new USC.
I'm really impressed with the fact that Arizona is also not bowing out. Like, they're still scoring goals here. Unfortunately, like I mentioned earlier, it's incredibly hard to come back after you're already down. Just playing catch-up is difficult in and of itself. But I'm very impressed with this heart, you know, being down 6-1, 6-2, still able to score again with a little bit of time left. And they're not allowing a lot of goals, you know, now.
10 seconds left. What can Zapier do with this one off the backboard? Raps wants to follow up, but here's Stick rotating back on the defense. Southern Cal didn't let them get 7 goals. They can't let it be done to them. They got to keep that much pride in this. Zapier to the crossbar. Hold on, can he finish this? No! That is time. USC in a game 4 victory. Seal up the match, taking their first ever Pac-U show match in. Convincing is the word I would normally go for, but let's just amp it up to spectacular fashion. There's so many players that I want to talk about in this instant that have just stepped to a new level yet unseen, and I am thrilled. I am positively thrilled to see this team out here kind of kicking butt and taking some names, Sam. I mean, how are you feeling about this match?
I was very, very impressed by USC. They came out on all cylinders. Even Arizona, that second game, scoring 6 goals. I believe it was 6-1 was the final score on that one. Even though they didn't win the series, both teams had some killer offensive showings. And even that third game, we got to see what it's like when both teams are playing a little bit better on defense as well. So I'd say overall, just a fantastic show match.
Mm-hmm. Just an absolute delight, especially if you're the type who enjoys themselves some high-scoring games. I mean, man, like 2 games where teams got 6 goals, and it was 2 different teams that did that. Game 3 was an outlier, but we also saw a 0-second goal. That is a very rare sighting in any serious level of competition. So always stuff to get your heart racing, and that was just match 1. Of 5, by the way, Sam.
5.
We got 4 more of these. 4 more. Coming up next, it's gonna be Washington up against. Sorry, I feel like I got that. WSU up against Utah. All right,
Yeah.
okay. Now that's gonna be just exciting, if not more so. It's gonna be a great time. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Match number 2 is close upon us. Washington State University, University of Utah, just two absolute delightful teams to watch go at it in Rocket League. I've seen both of these rosters so many times over the years that they always impress. And we got two great things in one bowl. It's surely a recipe for an awesome match. Sam, what are your expectations?
I'm expecting a high-paced, incredibly offensive game, given the history that I have seen in matches that are completely unrelated to this week's matches. Both teams have come out offensively, and it's been really fun to watch. I know your school, Utah, has also been offensive as we head into this game pretty soon. Is there anything you're looking for specifically out of your team, or just in general in this matchup?
There are a number of things that are in the back of my head. As game one is fast upon us here, I think a lot of it's gonna come down to just what kind of versions of these teams do we see today. Utah, their identity can flip-flop at times. Certain players can be kind of hot one day, not so much the next. Alex Walters, as much as I love this guy, there's for as many absolutely wonderful mind-melting games, there's been another where they're just not quite there, and that can kind of hold things up. But if they bring the heat minute one, I think we're gonna see some fantastic stuff from both squads.
Yeah, and here we go. It's looking like a little bit of ping pong back and forth, but Utah with a nice shot. Washington State already on the back foot going into it, but like I said, expecting some fast-paced, incredibly high-tempo offense.
Definitely to be the case here. Kind of weird. It is a Utah match, and no goals were scored in the first 30 seconds. That is a little odd, a little uncharacteristic. Oh, Wicked gets it in the first minute. All right, we are watching the correct teams. Just making sure. Thank you for the reminder, Mr. Potatoes.
He made sure to score before the minute mark was up just for you, Archie. Just
Man
so you would
never
get that
lets me
high-tempo
down.
offense.
Has not let me down in 4 years.
Really nice pass there for that goal, too, as we get started again. A nice little bump onto Wicked for a nice shot by James. Unable to come to fruition. Ocean looking for another pass, maybe to get things rolling. Unfortunately, gets snuffed out. Ari's on the defense. Unable to really get the play fully rolling yet.
Oh, but that was such a nice, like, aerial turnaround. Leads into a demo. Okay, Cougars, they have a nice scoring opportunity here off the backboard. What can they do with it? Deflection out. Walters receives, rolls it up off the ceiling, bounces near goal, but Oceans was ready. Now it's Wicked contesting him there.
Alex Walters just had it.
Back.
Oh!
Ari almost scores.
And here we're seeing, a little more defense out from Washington State. Utah unable to get another clean shot off. But both teams are doing a very good job of controlling their own ball. Washington State going for another scoring play here. A nice little over the head. And I want to highlight the great backboard defense we've seen, Archie. Both teams have actually had very good backboard defense. Not right here. A little scary, but I'd say that's probably the big factors why you didn't see that super early score for Utah.
That said, and any defense that works is good defense. That said, here's James coming into the corner, looking for some help from his buddies as Walters tries to carry it away there. Flick on out by Typhoon. Wicked waited in the corner. James bumps him out of position. Washington on the attack once more. WSU not to be easily deterred, but Walters looking to turn things. Bounces it to the wall. Ari kind of blows things off course. Here's James on the attack. Typhoon, wonderful defensive positioning off the backboard. Utah, they got the opening goal, but WSU has controlled the offensive pressure so reliably for the last few minutes that the Utes have almost looked on the back foot.
I know I'm going to sound like a broken record, but gosh, Utah's backboard defense actually is so good. It's the one reason they haven't gotten scored on so far. As you've seen quite a few great clears actually from Alex Walters specifically. Even though there's... Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You said it.
I didn't mean to. I'm sorry.
That's it. Anyway, Ocean rolling things up there, just notices the bounce, reads it well, and gets it right on target. It's just a good, clean shot for WSU. Ties things up, minute 40 on the clock. Relatively slow burner of one, but just with how solid possession has been for the Cougars, it truly was sort of a matter of time before they found one in their tight.
Oh.
Rips one on target. Ari, a critical save at a critical juncture. Really earning that place on the field right now. This could turn into some offensive stuff. Ari sends it out to James.
Wow.
Will there be a finish? Not quite. Instead, Wicked on the offense. Ari again with the flip back. This player showing up for WSU right now. Bounces off the top bar. Typhoon deflects it out. Utah getting clutch save after clutch save to keep it competitive.
This is dangerous territory for Utah, though. I mean, Washington State is looking incredible. Just constant pressure. Ari specifically with just, multiple shots here, not letting Utah slow up at even, like, the slightest juncture. No breaths, no boost. Here, they're getting caught in their back foot a little bit, Utah is, but able to get the shadow defense out, able to get the deflection, looking
Typhoon,
for a shot.
Alone in goal, carrying it in. Slaps it on in there. Alex Walters helping him do just that. Wrestles it away from the WSU offense and just takes it in. Typhoon the Magnificent indeed.
That was a perfect read from Alex Walters, just stealing the ball, hitting it right out of his hands, right out of his wheels. Anyways, just a really nice steal to get the goal for Typhoon.
Still 30 seconds. If last match taught us anything, that is no reason to be confident in a one-goal lead. Utah want to hold this one together. Here's Typhoon going. Almost extends to 2. But here's James with the flip back. Has some support from Oceans and Ari. What can they do with it? 10 seconds on the clock. Wicked carrying the ball. Sends it up. James taps it back. WSU has one more chance to tie this. They might just take it. Whoa! Typhoon just in time. WSU still on the attack. Wicked flips it on out to the ground. And Utah is able to do it. That was absolutely wild, Sam.
Archie, I praise the backboard defense right there, but it almost caused a little demise. Very dangerous at the end of the game right there.
There have been a couple moments in this little get-together where Utah has they have been jumping through the jaws of crocodiles, as the saying will eventually go when I say it enough times, and this one's balanced on a knife edge. I am so pumped for game 2.
Oh yeah, I mean, anything can happen. As we saw how volatile offense and defense was first game, as soon as you can keep that pressure going, I think that's going to be the key again. If they can keep the pressure, Typhoon was a huge difference maker in the last one. If they can kind of go off that momentum, I think Utah will be fine.
I mean, I'm looking at Ari for WSU. They have shown up a big way this week. If they keep making the good plays they have been, good things will follow for their squad. I think any kind of Cougars fans in the audience should be very happy and very excited about what this player has been able to do so far. And they're just going to be a pillar of this team's success going forward, as Wicked has 12 seconds to get another opening goal here. What's he going to do with it? WSU flip things back, try to take that first minute goal for themselves. Ocean on target. Okay, here's Wicked. Okay, we do go that first minute. I can't seem to will that goal into existence again, but it was worth a shot here as Ocean lining up quite a good shot.
That was a beautiful pinch from Utah. Very, very dangerous. Yeah, backboard defense, like you said. But that pinch, if you don't pinch that there, I think you're in huge trouble as Utah. That ball was not going to be favorable to them. I also wanted to talk about, you mentioned Ari. I want to talk about James a little bit. James is a huge difference maker for this Washington State team. Pretty sure the captain and Ocean.
There's the third man. There's the name we're not saying.
Ocean wants to be talked about too. Ocean deserves to be talked about. That's what the second goal since I've been watching. Just a beautiful demo. I love demos. You know that.
You have certainly made us aware of the fact.
All right, looks like we're getting into this little tip-off here. Utah looking for a play, a nice dribble over. Right back to the midfield. Ocean's able to take it for Washington State. Ori with a beautiful redirect on the pass from Ocean.
I mean, just beautiful stuff there. 1-2 play, zigzags across the field, puts it in a difficult corner, and Utah just straight up not ready for that one. Caught in awkward rotations, and now in an awkward place on the scoreboard. They gotta find some offensive juice and find it in a hurry.
Oh yeah, before Washington State finds more. I mean, look at them go. They're a well-oiled machine right now, just looking for passes. I mean, Ari passed that in that last play to Ocean before Ocean passed it back to Ari. So it's that kind of communication that Washington State is really using to get ahead in this series, in this game.
Typhoon trying to drive it forward. Here's Walters heading towards goal. James was ready with that save. Ari doesn't quite find the clear, so it falls to Ocean. They do get the job done in time. Typhoon with the flip back. Here's Walters' opportunity, contested by James once more. That's Wicked up against Ocean here in a bit of a head-to-head. Typhoon swoops in to make it happen once more. Typhoon has been an MVP player for this team this year. And if they're going to come back in this game too, it's going to be from the man in orange, making some fancy plays. But so far, Utah remain in a difficult spot.
Yeah, so far we haven't been able to... Ocean, again, showing us that his name really does deserve to be said.
They had a quiet game one, but absolutely pulled one out of the hat here. Game number 2, I mean. Oh, what a reversal. Certainly going in the scoreboard as well.
I think Utah here is going to have to make some strides on defense. Maybe not this game. It's really hard to recoup. It's definitely doable. But, maybe not as doable. Ari with a goal, another goal. Adding the stats a little bit.
This one is this game too starting to slip away from the Utes in this particular moment. Ari has made their lives so difficult throughout this WSU. They felt like they have all been here, whereas across the way, Utah, no, it doesn't really feel like there's any one player really answering the call to this as Ocean dribbles it back to Walters, having to make the difference here. I mean, that play in particular, we see the ball floating near WSU's goal and 2 Utah players floating past it. Awkward backboard play. I don't know. So a lot of things just aren't lining up for the University in red right now.
I feel like that's a good word to describe this game for Utah. It's kind of awkward. There's a good play. I am a curse. I am a curse.
I will take that curse. Give me more of that curse.
Before that play was clean. Very good pass. Very good shot by Alex Walters. But I will say it was a little awkward. Not able to really find a beat on defense or offense. A nice shot there. Maybe they can get some momentum off of this, but just before this looking a little awkward.
Still, all it takes is a couple good sequences to get the feeling back in you, to refreeze the ice in your veins. For the time being, WSU trying to keep the Utes shook. And so far, able to do that. Now 5-1 in game 2. I'm always hesitant to say it. A minute is a long time in Rocket League, but 4 goals in 1 minute, that would be some kind of a record.
You know, Archie, we didn't talk about Ocean at all, but he is really making some big waves out here.
I see. I understand. But Sam, there's something, since we have a little bit of a lull here, we got to go over your contract real fast. Puns are my job. If you keep stepping to that, we're gonna have to get in the union involved and just
last one of the night. I promise.
Okay, good. We don't take each other's word. You got that? All right. Anyway, 30 seconds in this. Washington up 4, looking to make it 5. Typhoon flips it back. Ari to recede. Volleyball in effect. Ocean zips once towards goal. Walters with a nice last-minute save, and that's getting towards the corner.
Ari!
6-1.
What a great game from Washington State. Will Utah be able to get that momentum back, or will Washington State just keep the points flowing?
Well, if the last match was anything to go by, this is the part where nobody scores for 4 minutes, then both teams score in the last minute, and we have a crazy overtime thing going on. But two very different teams. Seems unlikely we'll get that kind of repeat. That said, here's Ocean off the ceiling. Walters receives, James flips it back, playing it off the back wall here. No, look at denies it. Typhoon's been demoed. Cougars a chance to make something. There's off the wall. Can James finish it? Typhoon gets a nice touch to save, but can they clear? Not quite. Ocean keeping the pressure on. Walters wheels it away here. Utah keeps the right direction going. Can Wicked seize possession? Gonna need some help from Typhoon to do it. Here in the corner, James jostling off it. Wicked off the wall. Ari flips it on away. Not letting the Utes have it that easy. Walters flips it back in their possession, and apparently just like triple front flips from both.
Oh!
Whoa! Walters sets up Typhoon just off the side of the vehicle. That is some fancy car soccermanship. Oh, that is a treat.
I was scared there for Utah for a second, Archie. They were getting it stuffed in on them a little bit, were not able to really get it out of their side, but then they kind of reversed it and just took it to Washington State. Really able to score off but Washington State answers right back. Ari's not letting that goal go unanswered.
Sam, are you a fan of Uno?
I love Uno, Archie.
Okay, well, if this game was a game of Uno, the entire deck is just reverse cards. That's it. The entire deck.
I believe that. Let's see if we can hit another reverse card from University of Utah as they get in this. Trying to make a little bit of a play here. Oh, unable to get a really good grip on it by Washington State. Utah is still pushing into the offensive territory. Unfortunately, really not able to get a huge play going. A bunch of nice rebounds, but no great passes here, Archie. Anything you're looking for right now for Utah to score?
I'm looking at Wicked right now, waiting around midfield, trying to catch the breakaway turn back. That was almost a chance for Utah to restart the defense. They are going to find it here now. Typhoon tries to carry it past James. All three members of WSU, they are in the goal. All three are needed right there. As, again, Typhoon almost drive one in. Here's Walters trying to kind of reset the play. Low on boost, going to have to back up. You're trying to set it up off this backboard, but they keep losing the speed at the last moment for that clean snapback they want. And WSU so close, force a big save out of Typhoon, force another one out of Wicked. Utes are getting a little low on boost here. Typhoon needs to find something for them quickly, is able to do so. Carries it past Walters, deflects it off of Ari. Anyone's ball in the midfield. Walters gets the touch towards the backboard. Teammates weren't quite ready for it. Demo onto Ari. A lot of pressure on the James and Ocean's Wicked. Gets a beautiful bounce there, but nobody quite in position. Typhoon just a little short to turn that into a big shot.
Yeah, Utah's doing a really, really good job of keeping this pressure going, but unable to score a goal off. Then a nice demo by Ari. Looks like USC is going to try and see if they can get some momentum off that, but unfortunately, Utah's able to come back from it pretty quickly, get a nice pinch. Oh! Whoa! Ocean!
Playing with fire here is Typhoon. James
there it
piling
is!
Up the waters. Dunks it on down. WSU scrap themselves a goal ahead. By minute 50, the Utes are under pressure to flip things back, or WSU will move up to the match point advantage.
And what we missed there was some good old-fashioned backboard defense. a lot of these goals, when you're really breaking down this pressure, it ends up on that rotation because that's the hardest one to get back to at times. So if they're gonna want to keep it up, they're gonna have to not get caught on their back foot like this again.
Walters sends it to Wicked. Ocean disrupts the play. Utah rotating back on defense. Typhoon doesn't find the touch they wanted. Neither did Walters. And a little dicey pretty fast. Wicked. An important bit of footwork to keep things alive. Here's Ocean off the board. Can he finish? He's able to do so. To return to the Uno analogy, Sam, a singular draw for wild card has been added to the deck. And it's just a contest who's gonna find that. And right now, WSU, they find that big card, giving them the advantage.
That was absurd. That goal was absurd. Can I just say, holy cow. All right, well, Utah's gonna have to try and get some momentum here if they can to see if they can even this game back up. Unfortunately, down 2 goals currently with 1 minute left. Going for the ball. Ari unable to win that 50-50. Utah keeping up the pressure. Typhoon with the ball.
A little close here. Okay, here's one. There it is. Wicked plays it off the defender. You thought things were going to settle down in the last minute. I can feel it. That's where you thought this was going, but it's never done. Here in the Pac-U, the action goes to the ringing of the bell. Utah, 1 goal from tying things up. 45 seconds to do it. WSU trying to widen their lead if they can. An important match advantage, but it's not theirs just yet.
Wicked with a nice save here to try and start Utah's offensive series, my bad. Utah going for another nice shot here from Alex Walters, unable to come to fruition. Nice bump onto James. Typhoon's going back for defense. Nice shadow defense.
16 seconds left here for either team to make something happen. Time favoring the Cougars right now. Wicked favoring himself at the moment. Typhoon off the ceiling. Ball bouncing dangerously. Walters has to make something big right now. Here's Wicked. 2 seconds. Utes have to keep it in the air to keep it alive. But it's James and Oceans with the touch here. Walters sends it out wide. Who will receive? Just gonna be the ground. Washington State University up 2-1 in the best of 5. 1 game from taking this match away from the Utes. I'm shaking right now, Sam. It's been intense, but WSU, they have felt like they have had the upper hand for the last 2 games. Pretty solidly outside of a few exceptions. With the data we have, what has been the difference maker since game 1?
I'm going to say Washington State's pressure. They've just been crazy, really sticking it to Utah, not really letting them breathe at a moment's notice, constantly hitting it at their backboard, constantly hitting it at their goal. Eventually it breaks through. I mean, that's kind of the rule, right? You can't hold a defensive line forever. Eventually something's going to break if you can't get your boost.
Certainly the case. Typhoon sends things out right and wide. Ocean creating opportunities for WSU, but things still a little slow. James gets one on target, but Typhoon was ready. Now him and Walters are trying to get a little Utah offense going. Wicked does not find that critical touch there, and that means Ari has a chance to make some moves of their own. Typhoon off the backboard, rolling it back here. Wicked trying to do it, denied at the finish line. Ocean, clutch save.
There's Utah with that early aggression. Ocean, fantastic save. Ari with another save right here. Utah is coming out a little bit harder this game. Something we didn't see as intensive the last few games, but definitely a staple of what we have seen from Utah historically. And now, looks like we have them on their back foot slightly again. But able to clear it, Typhoon is. And it looks like he's trying to go for a fast break, but James snuffs it out, able to catch what's going on.
Here's Walters, kind of tying the pressure up. Ari tries to get the breakaway. Typhoon wrestles it away. They have Wicked for backup. What can this duo make happen? Shot on target. Can Walters finish it? It's in! the Utes with the opening goal. And this is a must-win match. WSU still at the match point, but Utah with the early lead. They have to have that if they want to take this to the Game 5 scenario.
What a smart rotation there, too, from Walters. Kind of a difficult spot to necessarily see all the time, but he put it in the right spot and was just in the right play, right time. Really important. And Utah's looking for another play right here. James able to seek it out again and stop it before anything terrible happens, but Walters is looking for that middle play, able to juggle it, but not able to put it in.
Wicked, however, bridges that difference. The crossbar hero crossing it through two defenders this time. Just wonderful shot there, playing the side angles.
Don't you dare sleep on my boy Alex Walters there. What a beautiful double bump. Just preventing anybody on Washington State who was in the goal from defending it at the last second. Absolutely an unsung hero in that play.
Well, you've officially sung them at this point, so way to make yourself wrong, I guess. Anyway, Utah coming forward here. Wicked on offense has been making some wonderful windows for him. Typhoon and Walters try to finish off on it. Ari trying to take control. Ocean's dribbling it down. Here's James riding off the wall, but things have slowed down. Typhoon is not letting WSU get anything going. Off the backboard, Ari trying to make that breakout play, but Utah giving WSU a taste of their own medicine. The lockdown offense, the demos near goal. This is not an easy place for the Cougars to operate.
Oh, a nice chance for a breakaway, though, for the Cougars. Able to steal that back boost from Utah. See if they can be able to get something off of this. Unable to really formulate that offense fully right now, but still able to keep Utah on their back feet as they're losing boost. Able to kind of compensate here. Ari looking for, the ability to pass, but Utah is snuffing it out very, very well.
I mean, that offensive play, they got the checkbooks out, they wrote it up, they signed it off, and then the check unfortunately bounced for them. Just didn't quite go in what they needed. And Walters, woo! The man coming through, just, I believe, rolled that off the top of James in goal there. Nice stuff.
It's almost like the games are Uno reverse cards now. I mean, it's just one dominant after another. Utah's looking very good this game. This is the type of game you want to see going into your Game 5, potentially.
Certainly. Game 5s are always a battle of mental wills, and it's much easier with a tide in your favor. Ari looking to change that kind of current themselves. But maybe Ocean would have had better luck with the water metaphor.
Double demo?
Now both players playing that 2v2, a much more high-scoring game mode than 3v3, ask anyone. Which could have been good for WSU. They don't end up finding it. 1 minute for 3 goals. Certainly not impossible, but statistically not too terribly likely. But here's Ocean, sends it to Ari. Backboard is guarded by Typhoon. Just carry it off the wall. James wrestling for it. Walters clears it out. Ari with the flip back. To get a little momentum. Ocean is able to do so. Gets the Cougars on the board. Yeah, just 38 more seconds. I mean, they got that one in about 12 from when I last mentioned it. They're technically on pace, Sam. They're on pace.
I think that's what the Cougars really need to do here. Like we saw in their previous, games where they won, where they scored. They looked a lot better when they were constantly passing and playing their slow game. If they're letting Utah constantly push their tempo in, they're unable to kind of start those slow plays that end up fast-paced and score them lots of goals.
Yeah, kind of the dribble-intensive plays haven't quite gone their way. Walters with another. Says, oh no, you want to come in here and take our game for momentum? No, sir, it is ours. We're going to be the team going into Game 5 with all the spunk under our sails.
Did somebody say Game 5? Is that what I heard? The blessed Game 5?
Of course. University of Utah, deliverer of Game 5s. They appear to have done it again. 10 seconds on the clock. Typhoon Hasn't quite
Oh,
scored
another
himself
one?
this one. Wants it for himself. 1 second there. Ball still live. Walters flies under, and Utah take game number 4.
Game 5?
This is it, Sam. The 11th hour. The 30th day of February. I mean, we're here. Game 5.
Well, and this is such a great position for Utah. I mean, coming out of that game 4, where you just looked so clean against Washington State, that's the exact type of game you want going into game 5. If you're the Cougars, what do you think they turn to right now in order to kind of come back on this anti-momentum game 4 into game 5?
That is a very good question, and it's not a super easy one to look at either. But for me, I'm going to bring back one of my old favorite lines, the idea of the quarterback memory. Like, you don't get to a game 5 without having the juice. And they certainly had the juice. Game 2, game 3, rather convincing victories to them. Those came through very much offensive possession focus. Their passing game is just at this very high level that their dribble breakaways aren't quite at as well. So I guess if they control the pace, if they're the ones controlling the flow of engagements, choosing where the pressure is, I think it's going to be a very different kind of game for them. And then that's just what they have to be they have to be doing here. Both these teams stronger from the commanding position. I feel a little bit of a truism there, but for these two teams, more than normal. And I think that's what kind of gives us these seesaw-y games.
I completely agree, Archie. As we head into this first one, we've seen Utah score pretty quickly in a couple of these games. I think that's the marker for how they're going to perform in most of their games. If they can get that early goal, I think they are more likely to win, as they are, from what I've seen, a pretty heavily momentum-based team in some respects.
I don't know. Whoa, okay. Ocean's trying to start things off the crossbar. Hold on, Wicked with the breakaway. Oh, I was going to say, I don't know about momentum, but early focused, certainly. This team, they have always had the early fire, and it does let them make plays like this. Wicked has honestly had a fantastic match. This has been some of the best offensive play I have seen out of Mr. Potatoes in quite some time, so it's always good to see.
Ooh, really good backboard save there from Typhoon. Looks like Utah's going again for another momentum play. Like we've talked about, their fast breaks are pretty great, Utah's. Something that Washington State is struggling with defending as well as producing themselves. As we head into this third minute, we've got Washington State looking to change that, looking for a goal. Utah, Typhoon currently pushing up, seeing if they can get a pass. Ocean again snuffing it out. A nice demo, but a great dribble from Ocean, looking for a goal. Scores all by himself.
Oh man, I really want to see kind of the replay of it. I'm curious, where are the defenders in here? Okay, Walters comes off the back, and yeah, the rest of Utah just straight up absent. 15 minutes late, and Oceans was legally allowed to leave that ball in the goal. And just like that, things are tied up at 3 minutes 30.
I don't know if my heart can handle an overtime in Game 5, but if they're willing to provide it, I will gladly take it. As Typhoon hits a nice wall hit, mostly a shot. Wow, almost goes in. Unable to actually produce, with Alex Walters looking to continue the play forward. Utah sort of unable to get the ball slowed, but who needs it when they're getting shots like these?
It's certainly been an intense barrage from the Utes. Ocean able to kind of cool things off a little bit, buy some relief for his team, taking off the hydraulic pressure as it were. James put in on the nitro here, contesting Wicked and Typhoon. The two defenders meeting him in the corner. He gets it past them. Walters ends up making that turnaround. James can't stop them on the wall. Ari comes in, forces Typhoon to make a weird touch. Wicked, important stop right there. Ari would have had to dribble all the way in if they had not.
Whoa. James with an incredible save. I don't know if you caught that, Archie, but wow, Utah almost going up again with James just barely able to stop it on the top. Now James is looking to go make an offensive play of his own. Hitting it off the back. Oh, nice corner play. Unable to see it fully through. Ari with the recovery. Looking to try and get the 50-50 through.
Wait, hang on. Here's Wicked playing it off the crossbar.
Oh!
Walters goes for the follow-up, but Ari again being a clutch
What a
factor for the
pitch!
squad. Typhoon just barely saving the goal here. James isn't done. Defense still under duress. Utah, they do get themselves that room, but it was hard fought. Minute 45, team still tied. Typhoon sends it down. Here's Walters, kind of bumps it into two defenders. Wicked lifts it back. James was ready. Typhoon in the goalie box. Wrestles the ball out from the crocodile's jaws. And just like that, we are in a real brouhaha.
Well, and right now it's kind of a back and forth volleyball-esque, unable to really get a point down. Neither team wants to give anything up, but I will say both teams' defense is looking pretty stellar this game. It might just be a little bit nerves for shots, but hey, I'll take a close game any day. Some great little fast breaks here from Washington State. Utah actually looking to go on the offensive here. Ari barely able to touch it. James saving it for Ari's sake. Walters trying to look for a redirect, unfortunately not able to fully get one. Ball's fully centered, but Ocean stuffs it out.
Have to be ready for the defense. Wicked doesn't get the turnaround. Ari gets it on target.
Oh!
James looking for the finish and gets it. 48 seconds left. WSU claw themselves to the lead. This is game 5. Utah cannot let this lead stand any longer, or the game and the subsequent match will get away.
Those crossbar hits are tough too, Archie. If it hits that little top part and goes straight down, you can't even really blame the defense for that. That's so hard to predict.
Certainly, I mean, the best answer to that particular scenario is don't be in that scenario. Wicked driving it to WSU's defense. Just tough that Ari was so well prepared for it. Could be well prepared for another shot. I mean, this player just coming out of the blue
15 seconds.
and making a huge impact. Utah, this is their last chance to tie things up, trying to create that game 5 overtime. 5 seconds, Utah still down. Typhoon to the corner, but it's getting really low here. WSU sends it up, it's heading towards the ground. Ocean sends it the other way. Wicked gets it up in the air, but it's on Utah's side of the map here. It's hard to keep it going. WSU game 5 with a 1-goal margin. Win the match out, defeating Utah, improving their personal records, and looking fantastic doing it. I mean, my heart's breaking a little bit, Sam, but I can't stay too down because that was just wonderful. In motion.
All the reverse cards.
And I'm all here for it. Sam, I didn't ask you last game, and I know it really got you down. So I'll give you the chance here. MVP for WSU. Who does it have to be?
It's kind of tough over a 5-game series, especially when Utah looked pretty good at some parts. I'm gonna give it to Ocean. I think we didn't talk about him early. Looked really good in that game 3. I want to say 3 and 4, maybe 2 and 3. A lot of clutch goals, a lot of good passes. Ari as well. Just fantastic play overall from Washington State University and University of Utah as well, putting that into a 5-game series.
I think both these teams always perform very well. I think it is very odd for them not to just put on a wonderful display of Rocket League. For me, the difference maker, WSU at times can be the James show. I mean, that player kind of capped him for a reason, but when the rest of the team matches that pace, I think in moments Ari and Ocean's at surpassing that pace, that just puts them at another level that other teams can't quite compete with very reliably. You want to know something extra special, Sam?
What?
That was only match 2. We got 3
more.
3 more, Sam. And I am positively thrilled to keep bringing you that action. But we are going to take a little break here, but don't go anywhere. The next one's going to be a doozy. University of Colorado Boulder up against ASU, a clash of the Titans. It's going to be a spectacle when we return. Welcome back, college esports fans. Match number 3 is fast upon us. Colorado Boulder ASU. Two just juggernauts. Rocket League programs about to clash head to head. There we go. Game 1 will be starting any second here. Chartreuse, do you have any predictions, expectations to look out for?
I don't know if my heart can handle another series that close. That's all I get to really think about right now. I am very excited. We've seen a lot of great Rocket League tonight, so I'm hoping that continues as we go. Hopefully, pretty soon into this game 1, right?
I mean, things go one of two ways with ASU, and that's either an absolute blowout in their favor or a real just tooth and claw haymaker slugging match. Either way, there's gonna be some good stuff to see. I mean, Colorado, a storied team in their own right. Some of their show matches have been very impressive, going head-to-head with some really powerful teams. But this may be just some of the toughest competition they faced so far. Game number 1, well, match number 3. Let's see who's got the juice.
And here right off the bat, nothing too crazy, pretty standard stuff. Arizona State looking for a nice little ceiling hit. Leafy on the recovery. Nothing too aggressive yet, like we have had in the last series. Thank goodness for my heart. As Arizona State continues to take this ball up to the front and almost gets a shot off, but Deco with the save. Whew.
Almost gets one, does ASU, but now it's Colorado on the attack. Flover and Triction trying to make it happen. Deco getting involved, making the big stuff, but Flover needed to kind of get a little bit of a reset going. But here's Sharvin leading the attack for ASU. Lightning goes up and over. Dangerous spot for ASU now. There's Flover on Durian, opened it up. Flova getting the trademark on that goal. Puts Colorado up in the first minute.
A nice attempt by Leafy to clear it there. Unfortunately, Flover kind of had it predicted, got it ready. Not much you can do on that defense, but really nice positioning there by Boulder.
Sometimes you do everything right, but the opponent just has the reads. And when they got the reads, they really got him going. And now, Leafing and Lightning trying to set stuff up for the team. Here's Sharvin rolling it up the corner. Colorado's backward defense about to be tested. Here's Trixon. Shot goes up. Flover sends it out. Deco keeps it going. Nice turnaround. Can they keep possession? Trixon says, yes, we can. Carries it to the backboard. Deco rotating back for defense. Gonna be needed as Lightning gets a touch towards goal. ASU going forward. Sharvin sends it down, but it looks like Leafy was a little too far forward. So he's gonna reset. Here's Lightning. Can't quite find the Kachow. As Colorado on the breakaway. Here's Trixon rolling it up. Deco off the backboard. Can there be a finish? Flover does it again. Colorado up 2.
Kind of an awkward little play, you know, a couple whiffs, a couple awkward spots, but Flover able to find where the ball is going, put it right in the goal. Another great goal by Flover.
Yes. So good. So good. The Colorado offense has looked impeccable, but ASU, whoa! Sharvin gets a wonderful play just off the kickoff there. Send it down to Lightning. Deco, critical save. Up the side now, Lightning takes it away. Can they turn it that little
bit? The redirect!
Let's go, and Sharvin gets ASU on the board. No lead is safe from the Sun Devils.
I was wondering when this ball went up what Sharvin would do with it. What an absolutely beautiful redirect. I don't know how an enemy is supposed to expect that goal coming at them, but really beautiful backflip right there.
Well, if I were to liken that goal to any historical event, it would probably be the Spanish Inquisition for quite apparent reasons. As here, Leafin going forward, Lightning sets one up, but the pass off the backboard, a little strange. Here's Lightning off the crossbar. Kachow coming through. ASU tie things up in the span of like 30 seconds.
Reverse card? Sounds like a reverse card to me, Archie.
But neither team has called Uno just yet, so the game goes on. It's yet to be decided who's going to get the dreaded draw 4. As Leafy plays it off his own backboard. That was a risky maneuver. They don't get punished for it, but the entire state of Arizona just tensed up all at once.
I just tensed up. This is crazy. I mean, here we got a 2-2. Arizona with another clutch save, a great save by Kachow, another shot on goal, but Leafy is able to search it out. Colorado's really not letting Arizona State relieve any of this pressure, Archie, and it's showing. This is kind of a big danger for Utah, or for Arizona State, as this game progresses. Orange, my bad.
I mean, this game is so explosive between Colorado and Arizona that apparently Utah just feels threatened by proximity. Not quite caught between those two, but close enough. If they both explode, we're going with them. Colorado fighting up in the offense. Leapy trying to have some stuff going. Deco turns it back. Sharvin with the save. Lightning's been demoed. Can Colorado capitalize? Trixon going up in it. Flover needs a little bit more. Flips it back on target. but Lightning coming back from the grave.
Over the
with
head? Over the head?
save. Is Sharvin gonna finish? No! Both teams on the precipice of glory gonna remain tied up.
And you know, it felt like a slow game at first, but there is no shortage of action in this one, Archie. Leafy looking for a redirect there, unable to find it. Colorado sending it straight back to the Arizona State half, but a nice little wall redirect, unable to get it fully cleared. Colorado kind of approaching territory.
Flover, can he do it? The angle not quite good for him, so Digo sends it to the ceiling to reset the offense, but ASU was ready for it. Here's Trixion going up, gets it over Lightning, but loses the speed in doing so. Leafy gets ready, Sharvin sends it on out, Sun Devils should have a play here. Leafy gets it, it's going, can Sharvin finish? Not gonna be the case, but Colorado can't get the clear. Arizona still has quite a bit of pressure here. Flover sticking it to him. ASU just barely on. Whoa! Just like 3% of the ball's volume outside of the goal. Colorado, they are going to be kicking themselves if ASU ends up winning that one. So painfully close, but it will mean overtime is now in session.
Those are so terrifying, Archie. Those moments where the ball almost goes in, and you never really know if you touch it, it might go in. You know, Lightning's definitely feeling himself after that one, and I think Arizona State could probably gain a pretty big momentum boost just off of, you know, maintaining their tie going into this overtime.
Now, here's Flover, carries it to Trixon, sends it up and over. Lightning receives at the midfield. Sharvin waiting in goal, anticipating Trixon's shot, reading things up, slows him down. Nice save. Leafy takes it away from Digo. No easy plays for him. Here's Flover riding off the wall. Can't get it past Sharvin. ASU. Sun Devil offense starting to come into play. Off the crossbar. Knocked up by the Buffs. Not relenting just yet. Hold on. This could be it. Can Lightning finish? Sharvin turns it back. Colorado, there was a point in this game one, Sam, where the Buffaloes, they were up 2-0 on the scoreline, but it ends up 2-3 in overtime, favoring ASU. Just what a massive swing, a complete another bamboozlement of precedent. I mean, just what occurred? What led to this?
Sharvin's crazy. I want to point back to that first redirect. That was a huge momentum shift, and nobody makes those shots on it. Probably 5 out of 10 times you maybe make that shot if you can get the speed high enough. So, I mean, just that play, and then Sharvin getting the overtime goal as well, just really cementing for that game that he came to play for Arizona State.
Oh yeah, I mean the squad always does. I mean, and you want to know the kind of the scary thing about this, Sam? As game 2 is close upon us, I think ASU might just have more in the tank than that. I mean, we talked about Sharvin showing up in a big way, but in the back of my head, I have half an eye on just Lightning right now. This is a player who is very often celebrated as a huge part of ASU's success, and I'll be honest, he was a little quiet that game, which is a little bit of tricks in, open it up. Okay, welcome back, Colorado. Where I was going with that is, like, ASU, they've still got more in the back pocket. Like, Lightning can still find that little bit more. There's still a higher level that they can play to. They're looking tough, and they're not even at their ceiling. But Colorado, not to be intimidated.
Well, like Boulder Shite, definitely no shortage of star power for them either. Flover doing very well in the first game, scoring those first 2 goals, but kind of unable to maintain that lead as a whole as a team. You can't really count them out, especially with that first goal. Like, they're very aggressive, very good shots. Another one from Flover here.
Can Digo keep it? Sharvin ends up kind of disrupting that final play there, turning it on itself, trying to serve it to himself, just a little to the right. Will there be the finish? No!
Oh, no!
As now Flover, he's alone in goal! And the man, the myth, and the legend gets it done. Boulder up 2-0 in under a minute. If game one was any precedent, even with such a powerful opening, they can't rest easy.
I feel for Arizona State on that one. They put all their marbles into that shot, and I completely understand it. You get that shot back, you reverse it, the momentum's not even really shifted. So I understand the play. It unfortunately did not come to fruition the way they wanted it to, but I really respect the effort there to completely reverse things, and again, going for another shot, but unable to fully get that one in as well.
That's just the problem. When you risk it for the biscuit, sometimes it's actually just raisins in there. And now Clover gets demoed in the goal. ASU have a chance to kind of shine some light on this game, but they aren't able to find it just yet. Here's Lightning. Can he do it? No! Sun Devils denied at the finish line once again. Buffalo stampeding forward. What can Deco do? Sets things off the backboard. Rest of the team isn't quite there yet, but here's Trixion looking to play it off the backboard. Rolls it across. Deco sends it heading towards crossbar. Can he finish it off? No. ASU hold firm.
This is a tough little spot for ASU. Again, it's Deco scores another goal to put them up 3-0. This is a very tough spot for Arizona State. Something about, I mean, last game you can argue they had momentum, but even then they got scored on twice before they really got that momentum going. Is it a slow start? Do they struggle to find their rhythm? Not really sure as this game progresses, but Colorado's coming out and making a statement that they are not willing to back down after that little bit of a throw from game one.
I'm honestly a little bamboozled by that last shot there, Sam. I don't think I got a super good view on it. Our buddy Trixion was floating a little close to the camera as it occurred. I mean, where was the okay, Trixion, there was the defense for Colorado, but in the replay, that goal looked really open. How did Boulder get that opening for themselves?
One thing I've been noticing, at least in this game, I'm not sure what switched for them, but Arizona State has been committing a little bit harder, sending one or two guys. And I think last time the reason we didn't notice it is I think it worked. They were getting some pretty good offensive plays out of it. But it seems like this time Boulder might have become more aware of it and is adapting to it as the set's progressing.
I mean, Clover, well adapted they are. Gets one just on the crossbar, mere inches from a goal. Keeps Colorado in a decently cozy spot here. Minute 40 with like 3-goal lead. It's vulnerable for sure, but very durable.
Oh, 3-0 going into a minute 30. Very statistically likely you're going to pull it out. I doubt they lose, especially with how impressive their offense is still holding up to be. I mean, props to Arizona State for only letting it be 3-0 right now. Boulder is coming out this game and making some pretty good plays overall, I'd say. Not really making many mistakes.
I mean, that's sort of the scary thing. This could easily be a much higher scoring game for Colorado, and Clover does find it, just rolls into the goal and gravitically attracts the ball on in there.
Ooh.
There have been multiple instances in this where Colorado, they got shots that just barely glanced out. There was one in that bottom left corner, that one off the crossbar more recently. I mean, I feel like it would not be unreasonable for Boulder to be up 6-0 right now. Just if a couple shots had bounced in a slightly different direction, it feels like a total reversal. I mean, you talked about what you said, ASU committing a bit more. Is that really that powerful of a difference maker to cause this kind of momentum change?
Well, like you saw with the first goal, it was kind of... Arizona State was going for a pretty aggressive play. If it works out there, they score, basically. But they're going a little bit too hard. They're not leaving a guy occasionally, not every time, but occasionally they won't leave a guy back there, ready for that. They're going in for these aggressive plays, and it worked pretty well in that game one. They're very aggressive, but sometimes Colorado is finding ways to exploit that.
I mean, you see it right there. All of ASU, they were up on the offensive side of the pitch, and Boulder was ready to punish quite thoroughly and completely. I mean, Boulder's got so much offensive momentum that it looked like they felt the need to score on themselves just to kind of rack up the scoreline, as it were. But keeping it together. 5 seconds left in this one. Colorado tying up the match. Team's gonna be 1-1 as we go in to game 3, which we're now like 3-4 in this tonight across all the show matches. Game 3 has always had the teams tied up. That brought us a game 4. That's brought us a game 5. And who knows where this one is going. Either way, I feel like a lucky man, Chartreuse, just to be able to witness such spectacular competition.
Oh yeah, I mean, Arizona State, that game just couldn't really put it together as well. I mean, huge props to Colorado. Like, crazy offensive play. Like you said, there were some shots that they could have even put in that just weren't hitting their way. So I think Arizona State's going to have to channel their game 1 again and really focus that defense as we head into this game 3. See if they can get those fast breaks going again. See if they can get those crazy offensive plays going again and work through Colorado's defense.
There's definitely a little bit of lead to be shaken out here. I don't know if we have seen 100% full power ASU yet, even in game 1, where they pull ahead. They've got the stuff in the back pocket. Unfortunately, they need it in the goal. We'll see if they can kind of find that difference in game number 3, or if Boulder is just going to ride the wave.
Yeah, right here, a little bit of the back and forth we're kind of used to in these opening moments as the teams are trying to feel each other out, see how the games go. With how much back and forth we've had tonight, it makes sense that this lull would only get longer and longer as, both teams are able to score so highly, so early, so aggressively. It's pretty important these opening minutes to see who can really get that first bit of momentum.
Oh, hold on. Sharvin almost getting that momentum, just a little too much up and not enough to the left on that second touch. Means Colorado does stabilize, will not suffer that early goal. Now here's Deco rolling it off the roof. Sharvin almost takes it away. Here's Flover trying to play it off the backboard, but Lightning pushes him out of the way. Leafy with the opportunity, but doesn't really get the spot he wanted. Instead, relying on Sharvin for a little more setup. Here's Colorado getting forced back on the defense. Sharvin and Leafy trying to combine once again off of Boulder's backboard, but Deco's not having any of it. Flips it back to the ASU side of the field, centered out towards mid. Flover can't receive, but Trixie was ready. Rolls it past one. I need a replay on that. I mean, there were so many defenders right there. What went down? Okay, so Trixie goes in, just rolls it up, and Lightning, he did connect, but it was just going too fast. It could not clear out in time, and with that, Boulder, they get the opening goal for the 3rd game in a row, Sam.
And it's just a classic play of they're wearing down Arizona State. And if you're an Arizona State fan, you got to be a little bit worried right now, as they haven't been able to really string together those plays like they did in that first game on their comeback. It's definitely capable. They're completely capable of doing it. We've witnessed it. But they're going to have to find some more of that as they get into the later segments of this game, especially, Archie.
Oh, and here's Flover tapping things down. Leafy knocks things out of there. I mean, Colorado has come out fast, and they have come out furious. And that's what you love to see for your teams. ASU's, they've got the stuff, but I mean, as Reggie Gigas has proven for 5 generations, slow start is a terrible ability to have, and it's biting the Sun Devils pretty badly right now. Not so much in Game 3. A 1-0 deficit, not too terrible at 2 minutes, but it is an unnerving trend, to say the least.
There's exactly what I was talking about, though, Archie. If you saw, all three players were right there, really close to the goal at that point. And, well, it did almost pay off. That's so incredibly dangerous. If Colorado can just get that one pinch or that one pass out, you're in a lot of trouble as Arizona State.
Certainly the scenario. But here's Littnen trying to weasel it past Deco. Not very easily done. Leafy on target. Tricks in a core save in time. Colorado, they've got some good stuff, but ASU has some tough questions to ask. As 1-0, such a fragile position to be in. Still in the lead, time is on their side for now, but they would feel much safer and much happier if they could roll another goal in.
Oh, yeah. And like Arizona State showed in game one, I mean, for them it was a 2-goal lead at that point, but a 1-goal lead doesn't mean much. As long as they get the ball in before 60 seconds expires, as a demo comes out and, they're on their back foot, they still have that in their back pocket. If they could just score before 60 seconds is left, they're still completely in this game.
Now Leafy takes it off the wall. Deco sends it towards the ceiling. That one almost slips under the crossbar, but I mean, at the pace the ball was going, I'm sure a defender would have gotten there. So anyway, Clover, 2 tricks in, but a bit of backspin on it doesn't give it the velocity it needed. Now here's Sharvin, ASU short on opportunities. Does find a demolition. This could get them some speed their way. But here's Sharvin going for it, but Lightning being demoed is tough news.
No boost.
Deco sends it up, but he can't quite finish the shot. There it is. Over. Getting their name up in lights. It's not a Colorado match if Flover's not scoring. 2-0, 12 seconds left. Arizona State University, they have come back from some tough 2-0s, but this might be the toughest 2-0 at all. Boulder should have Game 3 wrapped up.
With how intense Arizona State's play style is, do you think there's something they can do here? Do you think they just have to maybe go a little more aggressive, really go all in on some of these plays, or is there something else that's missing potentially to the secret of winning here for Arizona State?
I mean, that is a very difficult question you have proposed. It's always tough when you see a high-performance team with such a high ceiling of performance just on the ropes like this. I mean, I don't think it should surprise anyone that Colorado is the roster that put the Sun Devils in such a tight corner, but it's still surprising that ASU has been in a corner at all. Very, very unusual for them, to say the least, but for me, it has... I keep coming back to it. At all 3 games, Colorado Boulder has been 2-0 at one point. That's just not a winning formula. There has to be more coming out of the gates from ASU. They can't keep letting Colorado dictate the pace. They can't keep letting them have these early advantages. It's just exhausting, Sam. Playing from behind constantly is such a mental drain that the relief that ASU could buy themselves with an early goal could just be enough to swing the mental into the place. Leafy trying to deliver on that. Would be so much money if it could be found, but not going to be the case.
I mean, I like the idea. Aggressive early play, solo play, a lot of factors for early momentum, and just like a good goal overall. But unfortunately, I mean, Colorado's shown us why their defense has remained barely scored on this series. Plays like that.
Wait, hold on here. Sharp take it away at the last second. Flover, please. I mean, I'm starting to suspect that someone on ASU has, like, personally wronged Flover at one point or another, because man is coming out and playing on a different level. Always a solid, reliable component of this team, but right now they are in, like, just a different world of play.
Oh, I completely agree. They're playing out of their minds. Oh, Arizona State looking for a nice shot. Whoa. Unable to get that out. Boulder's now down 1 in the opening minute and 30 seconds for Arizona State University.
ASU get the opening goal for the first time. I feel that might end up being a communication thing for Boulder. Deco was in a tough spot. That was a hard shot to disrupt from his angle. Whoa! As ASU almost chalk up another one, I felt that maybe there needed to be a call there for him to back up, let that other teammate come through and take a shot at it, because it just ends up being an unfortunate goal from the Buffalo's perspective, as now they're playing from the deficit for the first time since, whoa, never mind, Trixon ties it up.
They ain't even going to let it get a full 50 seconds before they're going to throw it back at Arizona State. Pretty impressive. I mean, just be able to take that momentum and just turn it around immediately. Haven't really had to play behind in the series yet, but still showing they can do it if they have to.
Certainly. As here's Trixon off the backboard. Flover not quite on the mark, but Trixon might just follow up his own play. Sharvin gets a good disruption. Ego followed up, kept momentum going. Sharvin goes a little over. That's okay. Lightning on the ground. Here's Trixon over the top. Leafy takes it away. Jostling up against the wall. Him and Lightning. This is a decent opportunity. Goes to the backboard. Colorado doesn't let it through. Things remain tied at 2:33.
Only halfway through the game, and we've already seen quite a bit of action. ASU is looking a little more clean on their aggression here. Not necessarily overextending. Sometimes a little on the riskier side, but like I said earlier, that's a little bit of a staple for them. Nice save by Leafy right there to stop Flover, who you said might be personally offended as he's just popping off this series.
Man's playing with a vengeance right now, but ASU rising to the occasion. Their defensive rotation backs have been much faster, much cleaner. Already a good look for them. Has Colorado under quite a bit more duress. Under 2 minutes, things very closely neck and neck. Flover forced to play off his own back wall. Boulder playing with fire here, Sam.
Yeah, this is dangerous. Oh, and a nice shot from Boulder, but a little bit high. No backboard defense from Arizona State. Looks like they're going to just kind of play this defense pretty standard. Unable to really get it off their half at the moment. See if they can get a nice little fast break here. We know they love their fast break.
Sharvin gets it. That was... I'm gonna, as much as I want to be excited about just ASU coming out and making something wonderful happen there, I am straight up confused by Boulder's positioning on that right-hand side. All three of them were there. There was a boost between a couple of them. I don't know how that goes in, Sam.
There was an unfortunate miss on the backboard clear, and that, as the backboard's usually one of the last bastions of defense, if there's a miscommunication on that, oftentimes you'll get scored on. Unfortunate, but definitely an easy play to bounce back from if you're Colorado.
So they do have the benefit of the match point advantage, but I think they would rather not let ASU tear this away from them. They have 1 minute to tie things up. Flover, they've shown they've got the offensive moves to make it happen. That's bouncing towards it. Trixon drives it on in. The caster's curse was an elaborate ruse to make you look at the other two players for Colorado who sneak one on in there. The 1-2 play. I mean, Deco's shot was probably going in, but Trixon makes sure of it. Things are tied, 50 seconds. It's effectually sudden death now.
Honestly, I'm just really impressed with how Colorado's played from behind. Well, let's see if they can do it again. As
but things tied
Lightning
up.
scores.
Playing from behind, sure thing. Playing tied, yeah, a little more dicey.
A little dicier in this game. They have done a good job of being able to return these goals. I'm not sure if they'll be able to do it again, but that was a highlight I wanted to mention. Hopefully I don't curse them as they go into this final 40 seconds.
I mean, speaking of personal offense, as
never mind!
The defense is apparently just being painted right now because nobody wants to touch it. All right, 3-3, 2 goals in 20 seconds in the final minutes.
This could go to game 5.
Made to eat my words about those sudden death comments.
You know, you can go back to the Uno reverse card comments, though, because holy cow, Colorado will not let this game go over fully in Arizona State's favor yet. They keep earning it back. And here we've got Colorado looking for another play, seeing if they can finally take this lead. Flover looking for a nice pass towards Deco, snuffed out by Sharvin. A nice offensive play here from Arizona State. Let's see if they can get something off of it.
Okay, 4 seconds on the clock before we hit literal overtime. ASU in the offensive drivers. Yeah, okay, never mind. Now, sudden death. Colorado Boulder, 1 goal away from breaking ASU's undefeated streak.
Oh, the whip!
Just barely can't do it. Now, ASU, another chance to bring things to a game 5. Is out to the left wall. Trixon plays it off the ceiling. Bounced up by Leafy, him and Sharvin setting up for the play. They get it past one defender, but can they get it past the backboard? Lightning can't find the finish, so Flover doing everything they can. Keep it going. Here's Leafy off that corner, rolls it past one. Trixon trying to do it themselves. Colorado can't get the clear. Lightning in overtime gets the critical goal, as now game 5 is upon us. ASU remaining undefeated in the Pac-U for now. That is a title they refuse to let go of.
That's the last thing you want if you're Colorado as well. Going into game 5 with Arizona State, getting that momentum in that final overtime shot, that is the last thing you want going into this game as Colorado.
Oh yeah, just a tough spot to be in. I felt like they could have had it at several different moments there, but ASU find their foot in last possible moment, and now we're in extra innings, final round. The bell's rung like 3 times, but both boxers still swinging. It is that magical time we call Game 5, Sam, and it is simply too close to call.
You know, I said in the beginning, if this goes to game 5 again, my heart might not be able to take it. We'll see if I keel over, but I'm digging it. Honestly, it's way more exciting than I thought it was. Colorado going into it, getting a nice little demo, looking to try and take control in the beginning. Another demo. I love my demos.
Certainly do, but this time not leading to too terribly much. Deco sent it out towards Strixon. Not going to turn into much, so Flover under defensive duress. ASU opening things up. And it was around the end of game 1 where I feel like I mentioned it here. Lightning can be a superstar for this team.
Yeah.
Admittedly, kind of missing from the series up until this point, but ASU's last 3 goals have all been on the back of this red race car, and it's, as you can just feel the difference of when this guy is feeling the power, but can Trixon do it? Absolutely can. The little blue car that could ties things up for Boulder. Both teams know what's at stake here, and it's a whole fat pile of pride.
Well, you can see how much they want it too. Leafy really went for that. 2 saves, 1 save, 1 almost save. Very, very close. But, I mean, what can you do? Now they're tied 1-1, looking like Arizona State still struggling to get the ball out of their half for now, but it's early. Doesn't matter. A nice little redirect off the side post.
Colorado counting their lucky stars. That doesn't go in. A little surprising that the defenders aren't able to get that. Oh, there's the demo coming through ASU's way. Can't convert it into much, but now Colorado the ones with the power play. Lightning bounces the ball up in the air, slows down Colorado enough that ASU can regroup on the defense and should have a solid answer to this push. Hold on. Flover forced again, making the full court save. Here's Deco. There it is. 1 goal, 2 goals, red goal, blue goal. Saki. Colorado Boulder up 2-1, flipping the lead their way for the first time in game number 5.
They gotta be careful though. We saw that, you know, either team can really come back in some of these clutch moments. So 1 point lead's not going to hold on for long in this game. If you want to be confident going into the final minutes of this game, you're going to need much more than a 1 goal lead.
Certainly. As now Sharvin forced to kind of make a risky defensive maneuver, bounces the ball up. Boulder can't punish, so he's going to get a chance to flip things back, try to make a backboard play. You go kind of ready. That one's floating close, but no one from ASU was in
Oh,
position to punish. Can Sharvin finish this off? Lightning trying to make it a
there
little
it
bit
goes!
more. The game tied back up. 4 goals in 2 minutes between the teams. Defense? Never heard of her.
Get the paddles, Archie. I'm ready. This game's crazy. I mean, 2-2 already? 2 minutes left. Game 5, tied 2-2. Like, how much more of this can we take?
I don't know. It might as well be Tuesday, though, because that's just where it's lining up. Lightning tries to get another goal, pushing forward. There's Sharvin. What can they do with this? Here's Leafy trying to get on the scoreboard. Not gonna be made possible just yet. Here's now Lightning on the attack. Trixon takes it away. That one's on target. Leafy will be denied the goal. Deco with the save. 2's across the board now.
Oh, the demo. The demo, they're
from
trouble.
Colorado. What can Flover do with this one? And the answer, my friend, is score. Colorado up by 1.
That's the danger of those double commits there. If you end up missing that 50-50 and that demo in the back was beautiful at the same time, it's hard to defend those. You can't get anybody back fast enough.
Definitely a tough spot. I mean, that's how you win games. It's kind of like trading riddles, you know. Just you ask them a hard question, they gotta find an answer. You ask them a hard question, they gotta find an answer. And the ultimate goal being to ask the question with no right answer. And that's what that last play was like.
A little further than I thought it would be, but still a fantastic shot. Here we've got Arizona State trying to score a goal with only 1 minute and 45 remaining. Unfortunately, just not able to get that shadow defense. A noble attempt, but a nice shot from Trixon. An assist from Flover.
I mean, Trixon asked ASU what do they have in their pocket, and the answer is the ball, apparently. Colorado up 2. Minute 43, this is game 5. This is for all the marbles. The Sun Devils, they need some speed, and they need it now.
Ooh.
The Lightning tries to provide it for them.
All right.
Hold strong. Now it's Trixon riding up the side, ball to the backboard. Lightning sends it out. Flover gonna receive. Leafy pushes it over, rolls it over the goal, but you just can't score from that angle.
Well, and here we got Arizona State trying their hardest to score these goals. With 1 minute left, you got to start sweating a little bit. You really got to look for those openings now, because if you don't look for them soon, eventually they're all going to close up, and before you know it, the time's going to expire. But unfortunately, Colorado's still looking for these aggressive plays. Arizona State not quite able to get them out of their half. Oh, Flover?
Wait, hold on. Flover does it again. 5 goals, 55 seconds on the clock in game 5. I mean, Sam, this just might be it. It took to week 5, but ASU might just drop the first match of the Pac-U Invitational show matches. I mean, we don't really have standings or records. That doesn't really like count towards anything, but we all still know what's happening, and it's still really cool.
I honestly, you don't even have to ask me later. I'm going to give my player of the game to Flover. He's crazy, absolutely leading this Colorado team to victory on all fronts. Just some incredible shots, incredible saves. Flover is really carrying the backs of this Boulder team tonight.
Certainly for it. Now Lightning kind of making some demos happen, kind of going both ways on the other side. Flover to the wall. 15 seconds for Arizona to score 3 goals. That'd be some kind of record for sure, but it's Boulder. The Bucks going their way to victory. 5 seconds left on the clock. This game 5 is all wrapped up here, Sam. Colorado Boulder, they get the job done. They defeat the undefeatable ASU, finally felled by the Giant Slayers. And just like that, WSU, the only undefeated team in Pac-U. That is a powerful statement made by Boulder here tonight.
What a game, too. Offensive on all fronts. Very impressive all around. Arizona State, so close on a couple of fronts, but Colorado just really looking clean towards that game 5.
I mean, You said it. The MVP feels a little obvious. Flover played some of the best darn Rocket League of their lives, and they should absolutely be proud. But the entirety of Boulder came to play. Deco on both sides of the pitch. Their play off the ceiling on offense, their plays off the backboard on defense made wonderful things happen, and you cannot accurately talk about Boulder's success without talking about Trixon. I mean, just an offensive juggernaut for this squad, driving in shots left, right, middle, and sideways. Always impressive. It's always a treat to watch players of this caliber go at it, and I am chuffed as chips, Sam, and that's not even a figure of speech where I'm from. So that's where we're at.
Well, luckily, after the break, I'm very excited because we're going to get to see some more fantastic Rocket League with Oregon State versus University of Washington. So stay tuned and come back to see what we're seeing.
match number 4. That's English for 4. So, Sam, University of Washington up against Oregon State University. Normally, this is where I would ask you what I think is going to happen. But we're actually going to ask all of you. Twitch chat, we're throwing a poll out now. You'll get a chance to...
Never mind.
What?
It looks like Twitch has locked it, so we are not getting a poll that we were hoping for. Unfortunate, but we can move on regardless. It's okay.
All right.
You guys can
Sam,
say in
what's gonna
chat if
happen?
you guys think what's going to win. I can say too. I am kind of biased of Oregon State. You know, I'm a member. I go there. I love it. But I think UW's also looked fairly good in all of their Void show matches. So I think it should be a very good game, but I'm excited to see Zook. I think Scout and Parsnipes are playing. So fairly exciting team. Interested to see what's going to happen.
For sure. I mean, both these teams that they have had their ups and downs. OSU, they've put on incredible performances. Washington has taken some games off some really excellent teams. They've also had a little bit of a couple odd spots as well. A few tough games to go with it. And it's gonna be a battle. Which of these guys has more to give in the end? And I'm all for it. It's gonna be a battle of heart and wits, and also cars. Cars are probably gonna be a part of it too. Those tend to be pretty pivotal in Rocket League. Game 1, close upon us here. You're not gonna want to miss a second of it.
Poll active? Poll active, we're being told. So maybe there
Hey.
is a poll that you guys can. I don't see it, but if it's there, click on it. We'll see what you guys got.
And then we will judge you for your decision making later and hold you very accountable. So no pressure. No pressure. Anyway. Game 1,
right.
gonna be just a moment longer on that one. But Sam, I kind of want to put your expertise up against the poll right now. Can you give us a definitive one way or the other?
I'm gonna pick Oregon State.
Okay.
I can't not pick Oregon State. I'd feel wrong to. I think Washington has a pretty good chance, but I know those guys at Oregon State, and I think that they have what it takes to win this game.
I'm personally, I have to throw it University of Washington's way, just so that one of us is right. I feel that's an appropriate way to play the numbers, but also the Huskies they've got some phenomenal Rocket League up their shoulders, and I honestly feel like they're on a bit of an uptrend recently.
Looks like the crowd thinks Washington is going to win, as we are already a minute into the game. Little did we know. It looks like Oregon State is currently up 1-0, I believe, from that scoreline, right, Archie?
That is what is currently going on. So the Beavers not impressed with what the poll thinks so far, but the game is still young. Pixie holds it up the wall to the ceiling. Follow up.
Oh, the demo!
Very, very critical demo. OSU absolutely needed that to deny the offense their way forward. Washington had such a great setup there, and OSU just won't have any of it.
Yeah, Oregon State has this great thing going on where they're always moving. They're very fast. Even if they're not necessarily in the right spot at the right time, they usually find a way to make up for the play in some way with their speed. And that's the one thing that I find separates them from some other teams on occasion.
What's currently separating Washington right now, about 60% of the Twitch chat vote seems to believe that the UW will bring the dub. We'll see how quality Twitch chat's analytics skills are here shortly, though, as 2 minutes 40 seconds on the clock. OSU still holding a pretty commanding position. Toby sends it up, gets some help from Vixie there. Private trying to make the play. Wizard flips it over him off the crossbar, but they needed one more offensive player coming on in to finish that shot. Instead, OSU on the offense coming forward. Private trying to make it happen, but Washington already taking control once again. Vixie so close to finishing that off, but Washington remains scoreless.
Vixie with another nice little attempt for a shot, but unable to get anything converted. Zook looking for a clear, not able to get that out as well. Private Boy kind of in trouble here, but Washington not able to really get a good shot off. Zook going in for the play, unable to get a goal. Another shot, but nothing in. Oregon State unable to convert on that really tight offensive attempt right there.
I mean, okay, wait, hold on. One more Wizard just get touch, but just denied. Within the last minute, Washington has scored. Oh, there we go.
Wizard.
There we go. Like I said, Washington, 4 or 5 shots on goal in the span of a minute, and just none went through. They finally get their due after a wonderful series of offensive possession. They tie things up, and just the current trend, the shot luck has not been with them, but the pressure, the momentum, I feel, has been very Huskies favored.
Oh yeah, I mean, Wizard working his magic right there to get another goal for them. And he's always been a consistent player on their team for the majority of their games that I've watched. So definitely a player I would look at from Washington, but you can't discount any of those players. From what we've seen from Vixie, from Toby, when all players are firing on all cylinders, they are a scary team.
And now both teams feeling like they're in the middle of a haunted house here. Less than a minute on the clock, tied up 1-1. The tiniest misplay could spell disaster and set the pace for this entire match right here, right now. Toby going up for it. OSU gets that first touch. Here's Wizard trying to weasel it past Private Boy, but it is launched away. The Beavers still on the attack. Going up is Zuckerberg. Plays it to the back wall. Flying out wide. OSU needs a little bit more to get it their way. Snipes.
Oh no!
Getting it. It's Vixie all alone in goal. Drives one on in there. That is tough stuff from Oregon State. It felt like they were in very awkward positioning. How did that get away from them like that, Sam?
Looks like could have been a miscommunication. I think Snipes might have thought there was a player back there to pass to, and it went just straight to Vixie, able to score a nice classic goal. Nothing too difficult, but you know, even everyone can miss those. Occasionally you get those tough ones, but I really think that miscommunication was the finishing touch there with Toby.
That one was just sick. We could talk about communications as much as one on the last one. Toby is just the man right there. Wonderful chip in there, the velocity, the angle, so hard to stop. Nothing else to really say about it. The Huskies are coming out with the heat.
Vixie went for a little redirect there, but I think it was such a banger that it didn't need the redirect. It was already powerful enough. So Washington showing that their offense is something formidable and not something Oregon State can underestimate.
I mean, the Washington offense just looking like a drum player right now. That is to say, an absolute banger. As now OSU find themselves down one match in the set. They had some good moments. I feel the unfortunate thing is we missed their best moment. That goal had already transpired, so it's a little hard to say what they had going early that they didn't have later. But I'm gonna ask you to try and figure that out anyway.
I mean, if I had to guess, it's their speed. Their speed is, again, like I said earlier, one of the better things. I think it's something they kind of have to piggyback on if they want to look for a winning strategy. Washington is a very good team. If you go at them playing their game, you are probably not going to win. So Oregon State's going to have to play their game, their aggressive, fast-paced game, if they're going to want a chance to win this one.
Here's Vixie carrying it up. Private gets a nice defensive play there. Snipes hanging back near goal. Waiting to see what his team's going to kind of serve him up here. Toby off the ceiling. Vixie sends it up a little bit wide. Huskies not going to score in the opening 30 seconds much as they would like to. Wizard in the opening 40 seconds, maybe. Close by Okay. Like, in a parallel universe, that shot went in twice, but in this one, Oregon State, they could be the one with the opening goal. No! Pulled out from the jaws of death.
Well, you got to be
Both
kicking
teams pull
yourself
this
if you're
close.
Oregon State on that one too, because that's the only good probably great opportunity that we've been watching for them to score. If you're gonna get a momentum boost, you kind of have to do it on those plays, especially if you're gonna try and beat this Husky team.
So strong, but I guess that is sometimes the math. It is very hard for a Beaver to fight a Husky. The size differential is really difficult to overcome, but it can be done with careful planning. They can build
Wizard!
dams, but they might want to build one of those across the goal because Wizard seems to just have a magic all-access pass to that one. Opens it up for UW.
Can't even be mad. Vixie with a nice demo to then go up on the wall. Nice pass for Washington to get their opening goal. Things have just been going so right for them, Archie. Is there anything in specific that's standing out to you, or any specific player that you say is currently leading their charge better than others?
Oh, there's so many things that are going so well. Vixie has been such a powerful offensive facilitator. I mean, Wizard has been actually getting their name on the goals, getting those finishes in an important way. Toby's not letting them get scored on either, because it's not just offense. Their defense has been staggering this entire time.
Oh
and
my
Toby's been
goodness!
the linchpin for that Wizard. Just a fancy business. It was all an elaborate ruse. He was doing the firework twirls so that Vixie could sneak up undetected and gets the job done.
That's a gorgeous pass.
So good.
Like I said, if you're going to play Washington's game, you're not going to win. They are so eloquent. They take their play slow. They know what they're doing. They got their passes. If you're just going to come at them with speed, I don't know if it's going to completely work. It's kind of looking tough for Oregon State right now.
Definitely a tight spot to be in. You know you're in uncharted territory when eloquent is used to describe vehicular soccer, but I do believe it is an apt word. Washington, they're playing this. Oh, whoa, Zuckerberg almost gets one going. Washington, they hold it together for now. Vixie gets important saves. Wizard doesn't quite get the clear they wanted, but to go back to the comments of eloquence, Washington, they are performing the dance of OSU's death right now. Toby looking for that third one. Snipes has a chance for a redemption shot here, but Beavers just can't get that core shot they needed. Wait, Private Boy,
nope.
So close. Wizard with the magic dribble takes it away. Snipes so close. There he goes. Oregon, they got a break they so desperately needed.
Honestly, kind of impressed by that goal from Snipes. I feel like Snipes isn't usually the one that we see starting. I want to say it's Scout. We got Zook out, and we have one more player out there. Private Boy, yes, that's the usual roster. So to see Snipes come in and score that goal, it's fairly good coming in from the sub.
Oh yeah, I mean that is the difference between a great esports program and an absolutely fantastic one. Is having those strong players in reserve who can come out in these tough spots and make a huge difference happen. OSU starting to show they have that a little, but they gotta pull out a bit more to really kind of stamp that achievement on their program's gamer card, as it were. Still down one goal, a minute 10 to work with. Both teams have solid avenues to victory, but the Huskies feeling a little more comfortable in their skin.
Yeah, definitely an uncomfortable position right here for Oregon State. Luckily able to kind of get out of that more unscathed than I would think they should, but they're trying to get a point here with only 45 seconds left, and it's so tough on this Washington defense like we talked about. They have been playing so strong, so communicative. I don't know if there's a way Oregon State can do this without maybe being a little cheesy or catching Washington on the back foot.
Or just being absolutely sick. That's always a play in the book for teams.
Always an option.
Okay, Toby sends that one up high. Wizard scoops on in off the side wall. Toby maintains the pressure, doesn't really get towards goal opportunity for Toby himself. Here's Vixie off the diagonal. Wizard tries to get that fancy business. 8 seconds left. Washington still leading. Oregon State looking for the last minute play, but Wizard sends it to the ground here. Turning it off, there's the backboard. Vixie wanted one more, but won't be necessary. University of Washington move up to 2-0 in the set. The 1-1 streak has tragically been broken. Washington in the most commanding position that any team has been tonight. And Oregon State, the hour has arrived. Their number has been called. The question is, how are they going to answer?
Well, they looked a lot better. You saw them at the end there. Only a 2-1 loss there. A lot of improvement minorly throughout the game, but still, they haven't quite figured out that Washington offense. Not able to really stop them in pivotal moments, and also not able to really fully formulate their own offense in moments that it mattered as well.
Can you like point to one player on this team that feels like they could be the swing factor?
I'd have to say Zook. Honestly, he's got a lot of experience in this game. He's been playing for a long time. Personally, I know him quite well, and he is a great Rocket League player. I think if Oregon State mounts a comeback, it'll probably come off of him.
All right, folks. Well, we'll keep an eye on the Zook man, as it were. See what they can accomplish. Private Boy, not one to be slept on either. See, pulling things up to the club. Ball goes up and left for Washington. Deflected out by Zook. Private Boy to receive. Neither team in a strong possession. OSU looking to change that one. Toby rotating back on defense. OSU, they have an opening here. Shots on target. Saved. Come out for the Huskies. Holding things together for now. 4 minutes, 10 seconds. The game is still young. OSU, another chance here. Toby playing that crossbar defense. G-bar snipes. Gets his team on the board again.
I don't know if you saw that, Archie, but the key moment there is there were 2 big back boosts stolen by Oregon State, and I think that was really the key play there. If they can continue that boost control and continue managing kind of their side of the game, they can go for more goals like that, but we need to see more consistency there in order to see an actual win come out of them against Washington.
I mean, it is, as kind of you said earlier, Washington, they love to play it fast, and if you try to play them at that fast game, it's going to be tough as Toby tries to prove it, but if you can take that speed from them, it's much harder to make that same kind of plays happen. So I feel the boost steals are absolutely what the doctor ordered. Well, the question is, how consistent are they going to be able to do that?
Well, let's see. We've got Oregon State still on the back foot here. Like you said, we're not sure how well they're going to be able to pull these offensive plays off, but it looks like they're having a little bit more possession this game than they were able to pull off in the last few games, which really adds to this pressure here. Zook going for another nice shot, unable to get through the Washington 2 defenders, but looking to push it up the field again, going for an aerial. Corner pass. Nothing comes from it quite yet.
Now, Wizard contesting on the wall. Zook kind of gets him past him. Vixie rolling forward for the Huskies. Here's Toby looking to start the offense, but kind of bounces awkward there. Forces Vixie to step up. It's a little strange. That one rolls across the goal. OSU was ready. Should have been able to stop that from multiple angles. They're not too scared yet. They don't have a clear, though, so Vixie gets another chance. Tries to make a backboard play, but the rest of Washington just isn't here for them. So now, OSU flipping things back. Beavers, they're only a single goal. They would love to expand it. Vixie has a chance to tie it, but not gonna be the case. OSU holds the lead.
Oregon State looking for a nice wall. Unable to fully get the shot off there for Private Boy, but a nice look. Vixie is looking for the offense for UW. Unable to get it through Par Snipes, but they still got more chances. Able to squeeze it right over Toby, right over the head of the Oregon State defenders. Par Snipes, and I believe Private Boy there, unable to make the save.
The game's tied up. 1-1. 2 minutes to go. Washington, they have the match point advantage. It's do or die time for OSU. That early goal they got, that early lead, allowed them to breathe easy for a bit, gave them a chance for a mental reset. But can they now, with all the chips down, with no advantages left, make it happen anyway?
I think this is definitely a tough comeback, especially with Washington still under pressure. They're not per se down, but I'd say, in the series, they're obviously down. It's hard to win these games when you're already down 2-0 in the series. So Oregon State is definitely facing a big barrier here when it comes to winning some of these games, as Toby goes in for another shot off the backboard, off the defender.
Okay, OSU, this is a chance to kind of prove what they're made of. Before, it was a tough spot. They had to be, their eyes have to be set on this reverse sweep potential, but now they have to reverse sweep from behind. So this has to be where they bring their best stuff. But Washington, they seem to be driving in this moment. Toby, once again. I hate to call it early, but if OSU doesn't do something very soon, this match is just going to be gone.
Oh, completely agree. Toby with a hat trick, 3 goals, not letting Oregon State get any wiggle room here. Kind of playing out of his mind in this last game, to be honest.
Man found it where it mattered. We're all good on our good games, but the great players are defined by what kind of magic they can pull out in these clutch finisher scenarios, and Toby's proven they have the wherewithal to close out these difficult matches. OSU, one last great offensive chance here. Here's Zuckerberg trying to run it off the corner, gets past him. Big C looking for the breakaway, slow up by Private Boy. Can Snipes give him a little second life here. Doesn't get the touch they need. 35 seconds to make the plays. Toby and Wizard kind of bumping up against one another. Here's Zuckerberg off the wall. Wizard to the center field. The final seconds of this match beginning to unfold. Here's Toby, sends it towards OSU's goal. They have another offensive breakaway here. 15 seconds to get another goal, even if only for their dignity. But the Huskies pressures on to the final minutes. Throats exposed. Toby rips one open. 3 goals in the lead. 3 games in the lead. That should be it. University of Washington, their victory, not quite formalized, but quite inevitable.
And man, Toby is just absolutely wiping the floor with Oregon State right now. 4 goals in this final game? Where did that come from, sir? You're playing out of your mind.
Certainly, and the state of Oregon kind of losing their minds, a painful way for it to go. Washington, they find the big dub. I mean, Washington State too. It's a great day to be in the northeastern part of the United States, I guess. But both of their universities finding themselves some show match victories. And Sam, I do have to throw it back to you. Give us the autopsy for your own school. How did we get here?
I think Oregon State just wasn't as good. To be honest with you, they're a young team. I think they're great players. Don't get me wrong, and I think they can improve an incredibly amount. But UW just looked better overall. Pretty much the entire series, they had a lot of control of the ball. They really controlled most of the tempo of the game. Even when they were behind, they never really felt that out of the game.
Sometimes you roll up to the club and the opposing team just kind of does it to you. It can be tough, but in those moments, it gives a chance for these players to show what they can do, where they can grow, and what they can learn from. But we do have another poll coming your way. Sorry, Sam, we're taking your job. The players are going to get a chance to speak their mind on who was the MVP for this match. Sam, we'll let you have some feedback in it anyway. Who do you think's walking away from this?
I feel like just watching the final game, you might want to say Toby, and yes, Toby was incredible, but I feel like you made a great point about Vixie in the middle of the series, that he was making a lot of plays away from the ball, or not necessarily the flashy goals, but a lot of good passes, a lot of culmination of plays there, you know what I mean?
Certainly. They had a great assist game for themselves. And I think the votes towards Wizard that we're starting to see are very much well earned. I mean, Game 3 was the Toby show for sure, but Wizard, their name up in lights throughout Games 1 and 2. I think any of these players could be certainly deserving of that title their way. Because it is the Private Boy getting a couple votes for themselves. Good. Hold on. Toby's tied things up with the Wizard. Okay, these polls always get me really excited. As we're waiting for those last few votes to come in, though, okay, poll closes on a
Tie.
tie. Dang. Okay, and our own votes were split on that MVP as well. So I guess nobody knows. Esports always gonna keep you on your toes. That is match 4 wrapped up. University of Washington are going to be tonight's winners there. But we have one last grand piece of spectacle for you all. And it's going to be California at Berkeley up against Stanford. Just two Cal schools going at it, trying to win over the East Coast. So don't miss it. Don't go anywhere. We'll have it when we come back. Guess what time it is, Sam?
Uh, final game? Final game time?
Match
Final
5
match?
time. There we
Yes.
go. That's the closest you've gotten to this in 5 weeks. You're learning. I'm so proud of you. You've come a long way
I'm figuring it out.
in this invitational. But yes, after match 4 comes match 5. You'll say it with confidence someday. Anyway, Stanford University, the Cardinals, up against University of California, Berkeley, squaring up with the Golden Bears. It's gonna be, I think this is gonna be an interesting match. We talked about earlier, ASU, an undefeated team. Stanford and Berkeley kind of fighting to get out of a sort of dishonorable mention. I actually missed notes on one of Berkeley's matches, but I do believe that neither of these teams have walked away with a Pac-U victory just yet. So, only one of them can kind of hold that dishonorable mention after this. Question is, who's it's gonna be? Chat seems to think Berkeley. Sam, how are you feeling?
Well, like you and I talked about, this is the biggest question mark for us. We're not entirely certain how this game's going to go. I think I'm going to side with chat on this one since they were right last time and go with Berkeley as well.
I'm pretty sure they were actually wrong last time, but
No, they picked Washington. They picked Washington. We're good.
Anyway, you're right. I ended up siding with Channel Washington. Well, I'm gonna continue to be the contrarian. I feel Stanford certainly got some moves up their sleeves. And I'll go ahead and put my name by that one. If nothing else, one of us will be right. I just think it's going to be me, but you know. Anyway, game 1 shortly upon us here. Stanford up against California Berkeley. Match 10 matches. Game 1 starts now.
Let's see what happens. We've had a lot of early scoring in a lot of these series today, which isn't surprising as in this Pac-U Invitational, in this void of games, we've seen a lot of early aggression. So kind of excited to see if that continues to roll or if we're going to change up here at the last second.
Ooh, okay, Swath gets one off the crossbar with Luna demoed. It was a good chance for Stanford. Doesn't end up converting, but here's Maxwell waiting by. Whoa, 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 whoa. California, they are taking some risky plays.
Oh yeah, but if you want to get ahead in this final series epic show match, I feel like you're going to want to make some of those flashy plays, get that momentum going. If you're kind of the question mark, you know. Oh, Maxwell just pushing straight through Luna for a nice little goal in the opening 43 seconds.
Omi just like ghosts his way past the defense there. Luna the only one in goal and has to, that is an awkward task when you're that close to try and deflect the ball out at point blank range like that. I mean, if you just ram into it, there's a decent chance you just bop it back into your goal.
Oh, you're exactly right. It's a completely difficult save that is kind of dependent on prediction. If you predict the offender right, or if the offender predicts you right, it could go very different ways. And unfortunately, Luna gets scored on in this very instance.
But fortunately for Stanford fans, trying to bring a good day back to Palo Alto if they're able. Coming up to that first lead. Ball goes up into the corner. Here's Obi. Ends up rolling past the ball. Stalls in the corner. Maxwell rolling up to the club. Shot goes out. Stanford on defense. What have the Golden Bears got? Pop Sauce trying to put their name on this one, but here's Maxwell surging forward, taking control. Swath off that kind of back corner. Forces Berkeley under the defense. Can Obi finish this demo in goal? Sets up for Swath, but they needed just one more offensive player to finish it. Not going to be the case. Stanford's lead stays where it is.
Maxwell with a nice 50-50 though to keep this offensive train really going here. Cal is having a hard time getting this ball out, but Stanford looking very good on this offensive break.
Early looking for it. Wasabi trying to spice things up on Stanford's side of the field, but just can't quite stick it to the trees. Here, Bop Sauce coming forward, trying to get their own personal flavor on it, but Stanford's goal remains as is. 1-0, 2 minutes, 40 seconds in. Hold on. Bop Sauce, can he finish this one off? He's able to do so. We're all tied up, Sam.
Credits to Luna here on this assist. A nice 50-50 against two people from Stanford University to get it up for Bop Sauce. Really good play.
What do you think Bop Sauce tastes like?
I just
like
always imagine, I think about Bop It whenever I see Bop Sauce. That's just a personal thing.
I personally start to think of like campfire sauce, but that might just be because I like French fries. I wish I had some. But anyway,
well, off of French fries, we're gonna go back in and see Stanford pushing up towards Cal's goal here again. A nice little flick to himself in for Obi. He had the high ground and got it in over his counterpart from Berkeley.
What did we say, Sam? What, you guys?
I don't know what you're talking.
You made a promise.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, we're gonna let that Obi-Wan punch go and move on here as Stanford.
Obi again!
Up two now. Okay. Stanford feeling pretty solid, but the game is still young. 2 minutes on the clock. Everything is within the realm of possibility, but the Cardinals are looking strong right now.
Yeah, Obi's really just using force to jam it in there, and it's working perfectly well for them. They're up 3-1 now. Stanford looking pretty clean on offense. I'd say they're struggling at times to find their goals, but because they've done such a good job of maintaining that pressure, goals just end up falling, right?
It can be the case. I mean, Maxwell just has been a demon on offense, forcing those particles into the goal, as it were. Swap rolling off the backside. Here's a play off the corner. Obi sends it wide. What can Wasabi do with it? Maxwell takes it away, tapped up by Luna. That slows them down. Minute 30 on the clock.
All right, well, Stanford's going in. They got the demo again. We're going to see if they can actually make this happen again. Right off the top of the backboard, unable to get the clear, but Berkeley ends up with it on the side of Stanford on a fast break. Stanford almost refusing to fully give up on this play. On the way back to Cal's side again. Archie, these shots are getting close, but none of them are connecting. It's crazy.
Certainly getting a bit wild here. Maxwell drilling past one more offensive. Berkeley, they have less than a minute to tie things up. Whoa! Almost gets it. That would have been so big for the Bears there if they are able to do so. No, now Bop Sauce under some pressure to try and make those big goals happen again. 40 seconds. Here's Obi trying to be that hope for his team. Swathi off the wall. Sauce coming forward. Maxwell knocks it past him. 30 seconds for Berkeley to make something happen. Otherwise, Stanford will run away with game number one. Swap sends it up. Wasabi so close, but just off the mark. Demo mid-air slows the play. That is just burning away time that Cal does not have. Wasabi trying to play through the corner. Him and Bop Sauce rolling up. Little bit. Racing, 1-goal game, 9 seconds left. A tenuous position, to say the least.
Second time's the charm for Wasabi there, but unfortunately, 9 seconds is not a lot of time to score a goal. I think it's a great way to go into this game too if they don't end up pulling this victory out, but just to really end up a great goal there to kind of come back a little bit for Berkeley.
Yeah, so start game 2 off on the right foot. Ooh, wait, hold on. Bop Sauce, maybe. Luna gets it in the air. Wasabi taps it the right way. Can they do it? Oh, Stanford sends it to the ground. They will take that game 1 advantage. That was a really long game 1. That one, whoa. Well, really I felt like a full-length match right there. Okay, okay. No match will disappoint us here tonight, Sam. Everything feels like it's gonna go the distance. Stanford in the lead now. Berkeley, they felt like they were really close in a couple spots, but they just couldn't get out of Stanford's high pressure offense. Game 2, if you're in the Berkeley locker room, you're the coach. Well, what are you trying to tell the guys to kind of rally them in the correct direction?
One thing I noticed on a couple of those Stanford goals is they got their boost taken a lot Berkeley did. And that's one thing you can't give up when you are constantly on that defensive circle of trying to get the ball out of your half. If you give up those boosts, you're just going to be in such a bad position. Leaves you really susceptible to those strong rotative goals.
Well, now is the time to kind of push that idea to the test. Opening demo goes Berkeley's way. See if they can start anything up. Keep an eye on the Luna 14 here. I feel when Cal Berkeley has had their really good runs, and they have had some really good runs, a lot of it was Luna stepping up to the plate and making some magic happen. They've been a defensive core for this team. They've also been a powerful offensive resource, and if they tap into that reliably, that could be a difference maker.
Oh, we saw Wasabi earlier too. Wasabi had some nice centers as well. I think he is also another great difference maker in these games that Cal might have to rely on if they are looking for a comeback in this series.
But now, just slowing down the Stanford offense here. Here's Swath looking to support Obi, plays it off the diagonal wall, tap towards goal, just under the crossbar, rolls on in! Maxwell reverses entropy, gets the team up 1-0.
And you said earlier, Archie, that Maxwell has kind of been a powerhouse in this series so far. And there he shows it again, a nice play on offense. He was actually the one who made the save on defense at the end of the last game to stop the game. So really on both sides of the ball, Maxwell is putting in quite a bit of work for this Stanford roster.
That said, here's Luna on the offense. That's what Berkeley likes to see. Wasabi tops it back. Swap is ready, rolls it under him. Bobsaw slows the play. What can Obi do? Goes to the ceiling. Bobsaw is ready, trademarked and all, but Maxwell rolls it past one. They can't get it past two, and that means Berkeley has another chance on this offense. Obi with the disruption carries it down to Maxwell, rolls it past one. The demo on the swap. This could be Luna's chance. Goes to the backboard. Bounces it one more time. Bobsaw, Wasabi, anyone's got the juice. Not gonna be the case, just a condiment bar here. Don't go drinking the Wasabi, folks, here. Bobsaw rolling forward, gets demoed. Stanford not giving Cal many opportunities.
Yeah, now Stanford's looking to keep this offensive streak going with Obi trying to rotate back a little bit of a mishit. Cal going back on the offensive here slightly. Little over on the center. Obi looking for another potential fast break here. And he gets it up 2-0 Stanford going into the second half of the game here real quick.
I mean, yeah, but potential fast break turns kinetic real quickly there. Homeboy rolls up, pushes Stanford up 2-0. There's still a lot of time in this game, but I mean, it's a good day to have a tree as a mascot, apparently, because Stanford looking so good.
I hate to call people out and say they're doing well already, but Obi's been kind of a beast today. 1 goal this game, 2 goals last game, just absolutely dominating Berkeley on offensive power. It's been a fairly impressive showing from Obi.
Wait, you don't like saying nice things about people?
I just don't like saying that somebody plays well in a series before the series fully develops, but Obi scores again.
I mean, this is game 2 and Stanford is up 3 goals. It's a pretty developed series right now, Sam.
Honestly, Stanford is just in control right now. Cal's got to find a way to break this too. If they don't, Obi's just going to keep hitting those nice shots. They're going to keep, Maxwell's going to keep pressuring them. They got to find some way to break through this show right now.
They have to kind of reverse that flow of energy if they can. It's a difficult position because I feel like a lot of kind of the players on the Golden Bears side of things have been doing good by it. Wasabi's has a strong showing. Bobsauce has had a good game to their name, but it's just not quite enough. I mean, Sam, do you see any kind of clear areas for run back?
I think it's just gotta, well,
that's a start.
That was a
that's
start.
A start.
I think it's got to come from these rotations. If Cal can find a way to sneak into Stanford's rotation pattern, kind of like that, where they were caught off the back foot, able to get that goal. If they can continue to find weaknesses in the Stanford defense that has been so impenetrable for Cal for most of this game, I think that's going to be their best chance at a comeback. I don't think they need to improve their defense much with how decently they've been holding Stanford. Just improve their offensive communication a little bit more, and I think they're in the clear.
All right, well, things are already starting to narrow for them, but so is
Demo?
the block. Demo mid-goal. This always makes things volatile, but Berkeley got a good clear just in time. That'll let them reset. Even if Obi is launching another attack here for Stanford, they should be ready to intercept there, but what? Been a while since you scored, buddy, but does get it done in time. That should be game number 2. Locked up for Stanford there. Just 3 goals, too much with how much time is left in the bank.
Perfect shot, too. I mean, you got to have a little bit of force on that, or else the people around are going to be able to look for a save on the back. So, props. I mean, great shot there to prevent Berkeley from having a chance at saving that. And there he goes. Oh,
just style points. Style points in play.
Was that the hat trick? Is that a hat trick?
I do believe that is the case. You want to know that kind of the really fun statistic behind that as well? Obi has 4 shots on goal and three goals for it. Ooh. That's a hell of a conversion rate.
Oh yeah, I mean, 3 out of 4, that's crazy for car soccer. Like, normally you hit maybe half if you're lucky. So, beautiful play so far by the Stanford offense.
Very good.
Obi
improves to 4 on 5. The man cannot be stopped.
It's 4 out of 5. It's so impressive. They're up 6-1 with 30 seconds left. You don't like to pack them in early, but this specific game looks like Berkeley might have to, refocus, get ready for this game 3 as Stanford is starting to take control pretty brashly in the series.
We like to be optimistic here at the desk, but there comes a time where we cannot, in our analytical knowledge and expertise in the game of Rocket League, we cannot honestly describe a team as having much of a chance to come back into this one. And 6-1, a recurring scoreline for some reason. Oh? This is our 3rd 6-1 game of the night, by the way. There comes a point where you have to say, okay, GG, go next. And that's where the Bears are right now. Their hopes have to be gathered in that reverse sweep dream. I mean, it's certainly an incredible way to end off a very intense night of matches. But it is certainly a tall order, and no one on Stanford is making it easy for them to do that.
Oh yeah, Stanford's offense right now, it's looking pretty unstoppable. I put them up against any of these teams that we saw tonight, and you see this same Stanford offense going, and it's dangerous. When you go against a team that is playing hot and scoring and communicative, it is hard to find the opening and find those mistakes to ease your way in there.
I am kind of curious for your expertise as this game 3, potentially the final game of the night, is coming closer to us. When you are playing against this team and they've just got this one player who's coming out, making everything happen, who is scoring 5 goals in one game, what is the best thing a team can do to kind of combat that kind of like centralized mass of offensive power?
I personally think the best way to just like stop a specific player is to just literally stop them. If you can hold their shots, kind of psychs them out a little bit. I know you've probably watched analog sports. If you are cold in basketball or any other sport, it's hard to get going again. So if they can just prevent the opening few goals, I think they have a chance at really shutting down this Stanford offense.
I unfortunately wouldn't really know much about that because I am never cold on the goals in b-ball, as it were. Can't cold if you never play. Anyway, Luna rolling forward, rolled back to the demo lot right there as here's Maxwell pushing forward. Luna was ready to stop that one. Revenge of the defender coming into play there.
Oh, but a nice play.
Unrelenting, first minute does go scoreless, but Stanford doesn't seem too terribly happy about that. Swaff rotates back on defense. Stops
Nice shot.
Berkeley from getting a potential goal there. Wasabi a bit bothered by that one. Bob Sauce. Ryan to drive one in, but just denied.
This is the exact type of play that we want to see from Berkeley, where they're going aggressive, they're making those plays, because Stanford can't start their offense if, they never get the ball. If you are constantly just pushing at them, you're going to kill a little bit of that heat momentum we talked about. It's harder to get started if you never even get the offensive ball.
Still, the teams are clearly feeling the pressure. This could be match point. Berkeley, their backs are against the wall, but actually being in a 2-0 position is a pressure of itself. There's a number of players who actually struggle quite a bit in this spot. There's an anxiety that comes with finishing off a match. And it's showing in both these teams, both completely terrified to make a mistake.
Oh, Obi!
Man's the one.
They couldn't cool him down. He's just hitting everything. 99 kilometers per hour, an absolute banger in between two defenders. If you can't stop that, how are you going to stop him at all? He's on fire tonight, Archie.
I mean, they have come close. They have slowed the Mad Monster. These kind of like, I believe about like 2 minutes 20 seconds. That is the biggest interval between any of Obi's two shots since game 1. So technically still an improvement, but more is still needed. Luna stepping up onto the offense has been good for Cal so far, but it hasn't converted into goals in this game 3 yet.
And here Obi is making a nice little defensive play for the save / clear, and now Maxwell's looking for it. Actually ends up turning around. Obi with the attempt, kind of a fake, maybe a whiff, who knows? No need to say now. Maxwell going for the catch. Looking like they're gonna slow it down a little bit. Stanford has been doing better when they've been playing their game. Obi goes for a flick, unable to get it over the head of Cal, who is now going in for an offensive play, Archie.
That demo from Luna was good, gives Wasabi a chance to kind of launch one towards goal. Unfortunately, floats a bit slow. Stanford was ready for it. Do keep an eye on the Wasabi man.
Ooh.
Whoa, Bob Sauce almost doing it himself. Wasabi has been core for Cal in the past. In the games they have won, not matches, but games, Wasabi has been a large portion of their scoring. The fact that he has been quiet this game feels like a huge contributor. If the man can wake up in this final minute, that could be what his team needs again. Whoa,
Obi!
doing against Stanford, only divided by a single goal here. The Golden Bears not out of this game 3 by any stretch of the imagination.
And there goes Obi making plays on offense and defense, saving goals and scoring them. If you're gonna have a playmaker like that on your team, how can you lose momentum in some of these situations? If you always have that one player that's got your back, there's nothing to worry about.
It's okay. Here's Cal back in at it. Stanford can't quite get the clear. That means Bob Sauce going to be able to ride this up the wall, taps it towards goal. One more. Needs that little bit of extra help, but the save is solid from Maxwell. Stanford hurled on this very vulnerable lead through and through into the final 20 seconds. Cal needs just one to tie it up, force overtime, give themselves some hope of that reverse sweep. If Stanford, if they could get a goal their way, that would just be victory in a can. Here it is, 10 seconds, ball in the corner. Maxwell sends it to the wall. Good defense for Stanford for now. Obi waiting to receive, 2 seconds left. Obi ends up tapping it upward. If it hits the ground, it's all over. Luna keeps it in the air. That's big, but Swath sends it back the other direction off the wall. Maxwell riding. Apparently, Obi with another goal. It is sent up in the air. Wasabi keeps it alive. The match just doesn't seem to want to end, but there it is. Stanford 3-0 get their first Pac-U victory over California, Berkeley, and they do it in style. Stanford, a powerful showing to end out this game number 5. And Sam, I don't know how to tell you this, but I do believe I called it.
Chat led me astray. What can I say? I'm gonna ask you who your MVP is.
Mhm.
I already know who my MVP is, and I'm almost certain I know who your MVP is. But I figured I'd give you the option to say before chat has their say.
All right. Well, I think it is quite apparent that obviously the MVP is Mr. Obi Maxwell. Clearly, Maxwell had a fantastic showing all the way throughout. It's easy to kind of say, oh yeah, Obi scored all the goals in the universe, but yeah, Homeboy scored all the goals in the universe. Pretty easy MVP. I tried Maxwell. I did my best. You did play fantastically. Swath had a solid game as well. Obi scored like 5 times in one game. That's
Oh yeah,
wild. If that's not MVP, nothing is.
Obi was playing out of his mind. I mean, scoring goals left and right. My bad, and also defending as well. Like looking good on both sides of the ball, keeping Stanford ahead at all parts of the game. I can't help but give it to him this game. He completely deserves it.
They look fantastic, but the Luna fans are out in the chat right now. They certainly had a good match for themselves. Didn't end up winning through. Either way, strong showings. This has been just one of my favorite nights of the Pac-U Invitationals. I mean, every match has been an absolute banger, start to finish. I am positively thrilled. I am honored that you've all joined us here tonight. Sam, you've been a wonderful co-caster, but that is all of the Rocket League content we have here tonight. Make sure to join us next week. I mean, that is going to be our that's kind of the end of the line for us here. We had 6 weeks of these show matches set up, and the final one's approaching. You wouldn't want to miss it for the world. You've been a wonderful audience. Thank you again, and we'll see you next time.